All right. Welcome in to the Rant with me, Pugs Moran, heard every day right here from the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios in the beautiful E-Gallery in Dallas's Design District. We are, in fact, talk radio for normal people. I mean, if we're not normal, then we're abnormal in the best ways, meaning we're fun. We jump in a pool with our clothes on at a pool party fun. That kind of fun. Tuesday night trivia kind of fun. That's what I say. And to that end, our guest, look at him. It's Brandon.
Hey, Pugs. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Hold on. I got to give you I didn't. You got to get Brandon. What do you want to be? Sunbrew Brandon?
That's what most people know me. I mean, we'll stick to that.
Sunbrew Brandon joins the show today. We're going to talk a little bit about the events of yesterday. First trivia night we had. But first, let me tell you about the show. This show happens every day. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes it's just me. It is driven by lifestyle conversations among people who just enjoy spending time together, or conversely, the news of the day, whatever's happening. Sometimes we mix the two. I perform the show most days as a stream of consciousness where we break it down into 4 different categories. That's just for my own edification so I don't get lost. First category, we call that Antecedently on This Day. It's a look back at the history. We're going to do that today. Second category, we call that birthdays. We take some celebrities and we decide whether we want to wish them a happy birthday or just go tell them to kick rocks. Quarter 3, deads. Celebrities who die. That's, it could be sad. Could be, screw that guy. That's what we decide. Quarter 3, where'd they go when they died? Heaven or hell. All of these things have to do with today, this day, and how we can prepare ourselves for whatever's coming, because information is always key. Now, we're also going to be getting into some of the things that we did yesterday, like the trivia night at the back 9. Huh? That was fun, Brandon.
Oh, it was a great time.
Is that all you got to say?
Well, I don't know.
No, not a great time. Let me tell you something. I don't do much. And I think you know that because you do everything. And you tell me all the time, come here, come do this, can you make it to this? I'm like, I'm going to sit in my room and watch TV, or I'm going to sit in my dark closet and write on my laptop. I've been very out. Being friends with you again means that I can now pretend to have some semblance of a social life, right?
Yeah.
And Brandon, this is important because I don't think I'm all that wrong. Are all that unique. I think that there are a lot of dudes like me. There are a lot of dudes who are maybe they've gone through a divorce, they're in a rut, man. They come home, they watch Hannity, they get drunk, they go to bed by 10:30, maybe they walk the dog. They don't do anything. Their kids are grown, they hate their bitch ex-wife. That's very common. Living in some apartment somewhere. Maybe they got the house, who knows? Whatever. That dude needs a place to go. And I felt last night when I was at the back 9, like I found my people. I felt like shit. The 2 people from out of town. Did you meet them? The guys who were playing, Cheryl and Mark?
I met Ashley and Mike.
Oh, okay. Cheryl.
They're from Lake Whitney.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Those were the people at the end of the bar.
No, they were in the middle of the bar. At the very end was Mark and Cheryl. They're from out of town. I thought they're regulars.
I thought they were from out of town.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought they were funny. They had some really funny answers. I love the way you put it together. We're going to make it better. We're going to make it a little smoother. Last night was night 1. But we do have to talk about somebody special before we go any further, okay?
Okay.
We have an executive producer of this show today. Now, the executive producer is almost always the guy or the gal who tips the most on the previous day's show. But today we've got a special executive producer. Ladies and gentlemen, all hail Bill, the king of trivia, today's executive producer.
He killed it last night.
Bill from the chat room. You all know Bill. There he is right there. Bill destroyed the room. Now, let's be fair. Let's be honest. The room that we had 10 teams. There were some people who were playing as solo, but we had 10 teams. And we performed this in the middle. We played trivia in the middle of the most violent hailstorm that I think. So unfortunately, I had a couple of friends.
Which I didn't know was coming, by the way. I had no idea that was coming.
Oh, all my friends who canceled used that as the excuse.
Yeah,
all
right.
my friends who canceled told me around 4:30, dude, we're not going to come down. It's going to be a nightmare tonight. And I'm like, jeez.
Is that what they said before they didn't show up or after they didn't show up?
No, they called me at like 5 o'clock.
I had no clue. I left my dogs outside.
Yeah, Brandon had to leave the event to run home and rescue his dogs who were how were they, by the way?
They were razzled. They're fine, but they were razzled.
They didn't know what the
There's
hell
no coverage.
Just an open backyard.
Open backyard, no coverage. Like, what in the hell? Like, oh, literally hell.
Do you have a Ring doorbell?
Yeah, I don't know how to use it or set it up though. I have it.
Because I would love to see what your beautiful pit bulls were doing while it was the size of this. It was like hailstones, bigger than this actually. My son's home. We talked about that. I don't go into too much detail because that family. My son's home took damage. My kid called me. He's like, "Are you living through this?" I'm like, "Yes."
Oh, I was thinking it was your place where the skylights got busted out.
No, it was my kids. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, it was a crazy night. We're playing trivia. We're trying to pretend like the end of the world isn't occurring outside. I'm asking stupid questions, yelling at people. You guys in the chat room. One of my questions. So we did three segments, three categories. We started out, the first round was Texas trivia. It's fun. I asked some questions. It's fun. Second round was movies, right? It's a movie trivia, all right? Third was music. And in the music category, I couldn't believe it. I thought this was a gimme. My music category question was, this complete unknown, do I have to say anything more? Does it matter what I say after I say this complete unknown? I mean, I
didn't get it. I missed the. What's it? You said it's a movie about unknown or something? What's it? Bob Dylan.
Nominated for an Oscar, one of the biggest movies of last year. Timothy Chalamet just won Best Actor for it. It has revitalized the career of Bob Dylan in his earlier work, and it's made Timothy Chalamet a legitimate music personality. I assumed people knew this.
But you know, in all fairness, though, something to think about is it's not 1985 where there's like 4 or 5 channels to choose from and you go to theaters that advertise commercials all day long. There's so much out there. It's just the pie is sliced up so many ways.
I get it.
I've never heard of that movie.
As a pop culture vulture, I just find it unacceptable that somebody would not know a complete unknown is reference now to Bob Dylan. That's who he was.
I apologize. I offended you.
You didn't offend me. You didn't offend me, Brandon.
I was excited. I thought I knew the answer too.
You disappointed me.
I'm sure I did. I did a lot, actually.
That's what it was.
Very consistent that way.
So how did you think it went? I had a great time.
Bill
was fun. Bill ran the table in the first round.
Yeah.
9 of 9, I think.
By the way, I love his last name. Just one letter change and it's different, you know? It was great, man. Actually, it was a good turnout, better than expected. And everyone had a when I was leaving, I was there for quite a while longer than you were. And everyone just like had a great time. We'll be back next week. Didn't even know this was going on. Had a blast. And so it was Saltgrass. Shout out to Saltgrass, because it seemed like about 8 of their employees showed up and like had the best time in the world. But you know what was also great?
That table of women?
No. Those were called the Pinks. And they were they were random women that showed up to play. The Saltgrass people all had the white shirts on. You can tell they're all servers. They all had white shirts on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They set the bar. But everyone was so shocked that we're giving away free Rhino Rush, like a full case of Rhino Rush. They're like, oh my God. And they did not expect that. And we gave away like probably 20 cases of it.
Yeah.
That's it. Rhino Rush Nootropic. It's a new blend that's out there. It's for mind clarity. It's for better thinking with a shot of energy as well. So it's not like 5-hour, energy drink or any of those kind of things.
No, it's for clarity. It's for creativity.
Yes.
It's for if you're at work and you need to dial in and you don't want to do Coke or Adderall. It's that kind of a thing. It kind of dials you in.
That's their advertising campaign is no Coke, no Adderall.
Yeah, better than Coke.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. It was a great, we had a group of guys that could tell we're maybe going to be a problem.
are the guy who I am, the guy who doesn't go out, the guy who, his family is, whatever happened, if you're that guy like me, and that's what I thought that table might have been. A couple of dudes got out with their wives and all that, but that table was those guys. That's who needs to just come out. We'll win you over. You'll have some fun.
Most people don't know this, but I have social anxiety at the highest level. I cannot be out doing anything unless I'm there for a job. Like I have a purpose. Yeah. So if I go somewhere and I don't have something to be told hold this by the front door, I'd rather do that than just sit there at the bar. I'm so uncomfortable. But that's when I get in there, I'm in my element. That's it. I'm in the zone. But those guys I could tell didn't want to be bothered at first, and they had the most fun of all.
Let me tell you what one of them said to me, because when I was over there, I was talking to him. I said, I'm sorry. I know you guys just came out to drink and now you got to put up with all of this nonsense. And one of the dude goes, no, man. I mean, we're just talking anyway, but these questions are fun. We're all arguing about it. And, they didn't start out playing. And then they were just like, give me a piece of paper. These guys are idiots. It was that kind of thing. So I had a great time. But you want to know what the most fun was? When we got there, look, you have to understand, Brandon does everything, right? Brandon's instructions to me and Lacey was also out there. Brandon's instructions was to be there at 6:00. I, of course, didn't make it at 6:00. I made it at 6:20 because I went the wrong way. I thought it was Webb Chapel in Midway. It was like 3. Anyway, we didn't know what we were walking into. So the questions, when I heard the initial questions, I just thought that was way too good. Brandon, the example you gave me was, guys, here was the initial question. Who is the king of rock and roll?
That wasn't mine. That was Lacey's.
Whatever. I've been playing trivia since the 1990s in bars, okay? So the most fun that I had last night, and last night I went home and wrote a ton more. The most fun that I'm going to have is in the question writing. I'm going to write all of these questions. I'm going to check them and double check them. They aren't just going to be pulled from a fucking Trivia Pursuit box or nonsense like that. They're going to have little fun riddles in them and little clues and giveaways. You got to listen. I came in there and for the first hour, I just sat there and banged out questions. Brandon, thank you. That was so much fun for me. You have no idea the creative juices. And I mean, I was dialed in. Lacey's like, how about this one? And I'm like, stop it. I'm working. So thank you for that. And I look forward to doing this again. And I hope that over the course of time, we can really build it into something that's kind of wild.
Well, let me tell you, I started doing this like 12 years ago. And I kind of stopped. It's kind of the lower, we're trying to do bigger deals. This is more of a cash flow kind of thing situation. But man, it's a lot of fun. And I have my ADHD and I get bored. And I'm like, what do I enjoy to do at a bar? And I used to go to trivia and I could never get those answers right. I sucked at it. But I'm like, but I know like pop stuff, some of it. So I'm like, let's make it for the everyday guy that's not just sitting around, that went to college and studied and has a great memory for all this stuff. Let's make it fun. Let's make it about good, but it's also interact with some social interaction with games. Well, and that's what we do.
I didn't think my questions were hard by any stretch.
No, they were great. Actually, they were spot on. And what's amazing
I thought they were like in the middle for regular people. I think some might get it. And I think the results showed that. I think people got some wrong, but
I thought they were too easy at first. And then, and then I'm like, wow. Because remember, I'm like, we're going to have a tie all the way across the board. Right. And then I'm like, okay, they're getting better. They're getting harder.
No. When you said that, that's when I wrote the Guns N' Roses question where the bonus point was given for the real name. Because I figured somebody would know the real name. Turned out 3 people knew that Axl Rose's real name is Bill Bailey, but I
didn't know that his name is Bill Bailey.
Yeah, the question was
Bill Bailey.
Lead singer of Guns N' Roses. Name him. Bonus point if you can tell me the name on his birth certificate. And of course, the correct answer is Axl Rose. He's the lead singer of Guns N' Roses. You get the bonus point if you knew it was Bill Bailey at birth.
Wow, I didn't know that, and I'm surprised people did.
Yeah. So here's a couple of questions, right? Like music. I said, what television show did the Beatles make the American debut on? I thought, and everybody got that right. I'm like, that's a litmus test question to see what we're dealing with in the room.
Yeah.
So for future questions. Let's see here. What else did we do? Oh, here's the question that everybody was confused by. Not true. Bill got it right. A couple other people. What complete unknown used electric guitars at the Newport Folk Festival, shocking the music world? I mean, it doesn't matter what I say after complete unknown. That was the giveaway I gave you.
And that's what I didn't get. Hey, I'm going to tell you something that last night was very educational. And one thing, I had no idea that Frisco was known for their prostitution and their the whorehouses back in the day. When was that?
Yeah, see that. Here's how I wrote that question. All the way up until the 1970s.
Wow.
Yeah, when developers started to come in and actually build stuff. Frisco, historically here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, was where look. People have always been Christian around these parts. People have always liked to keep things and appearances nice. So when the dudes wanted to go out catting, they had to go all the way up to Frisco, what is now Frisco. And that's where all of the brothels and all of the whorehouses and gambling established saloons.
That's what the sign said. Welcome to Frisco, home of all the whorehouses.
I don't even know if they advertised it, but it's what everybody knew. And as recently as the 1970s, there was over 100 brothels.
Wow,
Frisco.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So, but the question was this Dallas suburb, once known to be the home of over 100 brothels as recently as the 1970s, is now known for Stonebriar and the headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys Star. See, it didn't matter. I just gave you a little fun fact.
Everyone knew the answer then.
Right. But it's Frisco, really?
Yeah,
so those are the questions I'm trying to write.
I'm going to go back and research and check into this. I think it's great.
No, it's Main Street. You know Main Street in Frisco?
Yeah, of course.
That's where it was.
That's their version of Harry Hines.
It was, yeah, back in the 20s, and I mean maybe even further back, but in the Prohibition days, it's where all the alcohol was and where you could go and get drunk and have fun. Yeah, Frisco's got a cool ass history. That whole area.
I bet they won't use that in their cool ass history lessons though. Hey, cool ass Frisco, home of the brothels in the 70s.
So thank you again to Bill. Oh, by the way, the other thing you need to know about Bill, you guys in the chat room, Bill is our executive producer today because he's the king of trivia. Bill, I mean, you guys are hanging out every day. Bill's in the chat room every day. You guys are talking to him. You know, you're talking to, he's like one of the most interesting people on the planet. Bill lived in China for a bunch of years and taught Chinese kids English. Bill has traveled the world and seen Bill is a fascinating son of a bitch. And he's been lurking this whole time in the chat room. I thought he was like a big dolt like Adam or something.
Hey, I want to send a shout out to Jeff Oakes, who drove in all the way from Rockwall last night to participate with us. Jeff, thanks for coming out.
Thank you. I didn't mean to take a stray shot at Adam, but it was a way of transitioning to our next topic. So Adam Reyna, who I'm not sure whether or not he is in the chat room at the moment, but Adam Reyna, yesterday, I talked about how Adam Reyna, for some reason, doesn't like Brandon. Here's Brandon. And look, and I said, look, Adam Reyna doesn't like anybody. I mean, I think Adam Reyna's got a problem with Ben and Skin, who are like the nicest, friendliest guys. I'm like, yeah, fuck that, or whatever. I don't know. And I know that Adam used to love them as broadcasters. He's a fan of their show. But I don't know. Adam doesn't like a lot of people. So he says I think he said you treated him like a douche or something, or whatever it is. I don't see him in the chat room, and that's unfortunate. But do you want to respond to Adam Reyna calling you, Sunbrew Brandon, a douche?
Well, I like to play both sides as he's on there. First of all, though, in all fairness, it depends on where he met me at, where he saw me, because there could be truth to that in the fact that when I'm out doing stuff, like you might say something that I have to answer back to, right? Which is going to look douchey.
Hold on. We do have breaking news. Adam is in the chat room.
Okay.
And
let's ask Adam where this started from so I can better respond.
Yeah, it's okay. So we got a 30-second delay, so he'll respond to that in a couple of minutes. Okay.
I just want to say though, based on where you met me, the content, the context, that could make me look very douchey because of what I do for a living, and I have to be a certain part. But if you meet me in real life, like out and about, you're going to find out that I consider myself to be very helpful, nice, caring.
Can I tell you something about what I've noticed about you when you were working an event?
What?
Okay. And this is where people would have met you. Okay. I love you. We go back 20 years. We've had ups and downs. We always come back because he's a good dude. I know I can trust him and all that. So that's how I feel about you. And by the way, our downs were never really downs. Just, you at work sometimes appear to be kind of on the autism spectrum where you are super fucking dialed in and no one can distract you because what you're doing is what you're doing, and what you're doing next is the very important thing. And yes, if someone is standing there going, hey, I have a question about this giveaway, you might come across as a little, hold on, can I get a second here? But that's only because of the massive undertaking that you and you alone do at these things. People see you there in like 10 girls in sunbrew suits, and they think, oh, he's got a staff of thousands. Those chicks are there to stand there in them suits. He's the one that's getting paid. He's the one that's making sure the events go off. He's the one that's timing the events, because all of these appearances are on a clock. I mean,
right.
So that's what I would say. Adam says in the chat room, now, I said he was a super nice dude, okay, which is good. He goes on to say, in typical Adam Reyna fashion, I just said he irks me, and I won't listen to people who annoy me. All right.
I have no doubt I can irk. That doesn't make me douchey. I'm sure I can irritate people.
Well, yeah, it kind of do. Look, by a lot of people's definition, the mainstream nerd or the square or the normie, okay, they may see you in your flat-brimmed hats and your skater dress and all that in 2025 as striking them as douchey. But then again, they're wearing khaki pants and a fucking polo, and so what the fuck are they? You know, it's fashion. All right.
I wear what's comfortable.
Makes you a douche, right? Behavior makes you. You can wear the douche uniform without being a douche.
See, and I think the douche uniform is like the pants that are too short that show your ankles. You know, that got into the pointy shoes nowadays. You know what I'm talking about? That look. You know, everything's too tight, super tight. I wear what's comfortable, bro. I want to be I'm like, in my older age, I'm about comfort.
You're not. Here's the thing about the way you carry yourself. You are who you are, and you are who you were, right? You are an amalgamation of everything. You just dress the way you have for a while, and it's, what are you gonna wear? Suits to some fucking?
Don't even own one.
Yeah, right. So
don't own a tie.
He's a successful businessman. He doesn't even own a tie. Adam has more in the chat room. Adam says, I met him at the back nine maybe 20-ish years ago, and then at dodgeball. But yeah, he's nice. He's a bit of a douche.
I want to give Adam credit.
He's a bit of a douche and grinds my gears. But I'm trying to listen now. Don't push me away.
All right. Hey, Adam, I want to tell you, 20 years ago, I was, first of all, people sometimes think I have anxiety. So people think when I don't talk to them, it's because I can't remember their names. I'm nervous as hell. And I used to have a full-time assistant, Stephanie. One of her jobs was I'm going to walk away.
How is Stephanie? Continue your story.
I'm gonna walk away, and I would walk away and remind me, because I felt so bad, especially when I'd be on radio. People would know me, but I wouldn't know them. But I thought I was supposed to know them, and it'd make me so uncomfortable and nervous. So I'd walk away, find out who they were from her, and then okay, I don't know them, so I don't need to feel bad. So I'd get like really nervous, and I'd freeze up and walk away from people because I'm like, do I know them or not? And a lot of times I don't know them. It's like you.
Right.
People know you though because you're a show every day. And it makes me super, super paranoid and anxious.
And I'm not anxious in public or with a microphone or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, I'm maybe too comfortable, Yeah. But let me tell you something about Stephanie, because this is a funny thing with me and my son. So I have a whole bunch of pictures, which as parents do, of their child growing up, just so you can show them years later. Like, look at this. This is when we went here, because they may not remember it. So there's a string of pictures of Mason back in his toddler days with his babysitter. And his babysitter was Stephanie, the girl you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Stephanie was the apex Sunbrew girl at the time. Honestly, as far as just looking at her, possibly one of the 10 prettiest girls I've ever seen in real life. That's how I would describe.
Beautiful girl, absolutely.
Absolutely. And so sweet and all that. And she was so great with Mason. So we have this string of pictures where Mason is playing with her. And, she's ponytail. She looks like a hot babysitter, but it's nothing great, right? And she's playing, and they're kidding, and they're laughing, and she's carrying, she's throwing all kinds of great pictures. Then there's a picture of him and her sleeping together on the couch. They're both taking a nap, and they're out. She's a mom, so she probably wasn't really sleeping. She knew the trick to pretend you're sleeping, so he'll sleep. But it's a cute picture. So I show my kid these pictures. I'm like, look at how I took care of you when you were little. This is your babysitter, and I'm showing her. And then the last picture is her wearing this like super sex, like she was auditioning for Playboy or something. And it is like one of the hottest pictures. And every time the bit between me and my kid is, yeah, there. And when I get to that one, I swipe by really quick and he goes, wait, stop, go back. What? That was my babysitter? I'm like, yeah, dude, dad hooked you up.
Yeah.
Don't ever say.
One of my best friends, his kids who are now 23, 22, some of that age, I have a picture when they were like 2, 4, and 5. And they're at my Sunbrew headquarters, and their mom's like, let me take a picture with the bikini girl. And the cool part of the story is they have that picture, and now that same girl has came back 20 years later, who now lives in Oklahoma, and she still exists. She's still, around. But it's cool to see them standing next to her as they're 6'4" now. Yeah. And they were like, I don't know, 4'2" then. And here's 20 years difference between not the babysitter, but the girl that greeted them at the front door at Sunbrew. But hey, I want to go back to one more thing though, and I want to get this to Adam. If you met me during dodgeball times, I was to be real about it, I played the role of cocky because we had this unbeatable team. Yeah. We wanted to talk shit. We wanted to act.
This is why dodgeball took off, because you put together an unbeatable team and then you played it WWE style. That's it. You were the heels.
Yeah, we showed up in limousines. We'd have the girls out. We'd talk shit. We had a good time of it, man. And we worked.
But wait a second. Let me point something out here. Because this is something that I always like to... you did not... You're like Elon Musk and Tesla, okay? You did not invent that team. You, like every other good marketer with an eye for talent, you took a team called Jesus Chrysler Supercar that was an amazing, unbeatable dodgeball team of ex-jocks, and he threw Sunbrew jerseys on them.
No. It's not entirely true.
It was brilliant. What do you mean it wasn't true?
We started with Jason Pierce. We brought in James Hamrick and Scotty. Then we took the Ian and some other people from other teams. Yeah, we collapsed the team down. We bought out.
You rated talent from every other team that was out there, and you created a super team. And the reason I wanted to say is because I'm trying to create a trivia super team.
Oh,
I want to create a team that will shit talk at all of these events, that will destroy everybody. And I've already got, and I want to play. I want to be a part of this team. I want to be the heel, the manager, the Bobby Heenan, that kind of guy. I got Schwartz, who is one of the most balls off, well-rounded brains I've ever been around. And I'm looking for other people. And I got to tell you, Bill Folk running the table last night from the chat room might be one of them. If you think you can repeat what he did, come on out to the next one.
Now I feel like you're issuing a challenge.
For the team.
I think I need to create a team.
I am scouting.
And I don't lose at this kind of stuff.
Dude, if you were to create a team, I would be on it. Okay. So this is our super team.
Okay. It's an hour thing. I didn't ever need to create my own team separately, but yeah, okay, I'm down with that.
Because let me have a couple conversations with our friend Mark Lassiter, the super attorney here in Dallas. He might be somebody I might want to add to my super team.
We need to get uniforms and do the whole thing. You know how we do it.
Wait, go ahead.
Well, I'm saying we've already got a sponsor, Fatal Clothing.
But here's what I want the uniforms to be. I want the uniforms to be T-shirts that look like suits. You remember the old tuxedo T-shirts?
Tuxedo, yes.
Yes, I want T-shirts with ties so that we look very, maybe even, I don't know, maybe we could have hats like graduation caps, like we all wear caps.
Listen, I'm serious about what I'm about to say. Let's do tryouts. Let's have a super team.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing.
We'll do it Sunbrew style, like the dodgeball guys had professional uniforms, banners, photo shoots. We had it all.
We'll take them on tour.
Yeah, dodgeball got to tour. We went to Austin. We went to several places.
I know your Pugs and Kelly dodgeball team started touring. Do you know dodgeball? People get it confused, and I need to make it absolutely clear. Kelly and I, more importantly, Kevin Matthews, who is a major radio personality and radio Hall of Fame guy from Chicago, who was my first boss. He was the first one who in the mid-90s, as a joke, when we were trying to come up with ideas for events, he said, why don't we just play dodgeball? Like he was being dismissive of it. And I remember sitting in that meeting going, yeah, we should. And then the station was like, I don't know, isn't that kind of dangerous? Let's table that one. So we turned it into a thing on the air where I'm like, we should do dodgeball. And they're like, no. And then Kelly, who was on another show at the time, Danny Bonaducci, she was like, that dodgeball idea is great. And the Danny Bonaducci show did a dodgeball thing. They did, and I'm like, fuck, I wanted to do that. So when Kelly and I, a couple of years later, came together and moved to Dallas, we needed a big event, and we said, let's do dodgeball. Now, it started to get some real attention locally. We were on Inside Edition. The Chicago Tribune wrote a huge piece about dodgeball because we had come from Chicago, and it was one of those. What
It
are
was
they
on
up to?
Inside Edition?
We were on Inside Edition. Yeah.
Wow.
It was, and then the people from Hollywood came. The people from Hollywood contacted the radio station and said that we would like to send some coordinators and some people, and we'd like to meet the people who are putting this together. It was the people who made the movie Dodgeball. We were before the movie Dodgeball. The movie Dodgeball came about 1.5 to 2 years after us. And they came out and scouted us and watched you guys and all of that stuff.
Well, the paper did a write-up about it, about the movie and your tournament.
Dallas Morning News did
a couple of my guys were either in pictures or interviewed or something. But yeah, I remember that.
Dallas Morning News said that we were the radio show that inspired the film. And we were like, yeah. Wow. And that all came from a meeting in like 1994 where everyone thought it was a terrible idea.
That's great.
That event made millions and millions of dollars for that radio station, and I took home almost none of it.
Yeah. You know, we were kicked out once for a dodgeball.
For being too good?
Yeah, actually. Well, we started getting sponsors, and when one of the big wigs over at your station found out about it, they told us we're gone.
Yeah, I remember that, and that's why you came back, because we were like, no, fuck you. This event doesn't work without them.
Yeah.
Are you stupid?
And Yucatan Ranch said the same thing, said, cancel us, and we're not doing it. You're kicking out them? No.
I remember that situation, and I remember Kelly being the one to say, well, then pay them. Then make them the official 105.3 team. And they were like, well, we don't want to do that. So,
fun times.
Stupid radio. Adam in the chat room would like, let's wrap up this beef between you and Adam. Adam in the chat room says, and I would have gone to trivia had I had time. I was doing my spin class. Can't miss too many classes during the week because I don't want to fall back into being fat. That's Adam. Okay. Can I say something about Adam?
Please do.
All right. Adam used to be really fat. Adam's not really fat anymore. It's an inspirational story, right? It's really cool. And I'm glad for him. He's got beautiful daughters and he's a good man. And I want to make sure, I don't really fucking care, but you know what I mean? I mean, I do care, but I don't stay awake at night worrying about Adam Moreno. But I'm glad he made these changes. I myself can't do it. So when I see him do it, I'm like, I could do it if Adam Moreno can do it. So good for him. All right. But here comes the but. Adam, everybody's getting sick and tired of hearing about how fucking committed you are to health spin classes and how many miles you rode on your bike. Nobody fucking cares anymore, man. All right? Keep it up. Keep doing it. You won the war. You're not a fat guy anymore. You look great. Just fucking nobody cares anymore. Thank you. Thank you. I'm speaking on behalf of the chat room. But definitely come to trivia next time. Adam Rayner is a contender for the super team. He's really smart. I told you that last night. I was like, here are some of the people I'm looking at. I think Adam in sports and music could be a real fucking
people that want to join this team should kind of put their resume on the chat, shouldn't they? Or speak about it.
No. They should come to our next event and talk to me. Okay. But contact me via Twitter or whatever and say, hey man, I'm interested. So I'll make a little time and we'll have a beer and I'll quiz you a little and I'll see if you pass muster.
What if we took?
I need girls too, by the way. I need girls. I need girls.
You should clarify when you say that, though.
No, yeah, well, for trivia, I need smart women. That's what I need.
Hey, listen, I know we need to move on, but what if we took that team and once a week went to one of the other trivia nights elsewhere and slaughtered them?
Exactly.
And we recruit players for our events.
Well, we just walk in and destroy them. That's exactly what I was thinking when I said we could take it on the road. We could take our super team and crash other trivia nights.
I'm in.
It'd be real rowdy and loud and bannered up with who we are.
Roll in talking shit.
If we were to have like a home bar, right? We would get like those uniforms and we'd go to other bars and we'd kill them.
I say we're here from trash trivia.
We say if you want to take us down again, come to our home field next time. We came to yours and kicked your ass.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm loving it.
The super team is coming. However, I think the team is going to have 4 people because that's typically how you do it with teams. There's 4 people.
Most places are up to 6.
Yeah, but I want to keep my super team manageable. But because of who the people on the super team are, I'm going to need about 15. And we're going to rotate them in.
I was going to say you need backup because you're going to miss that nights all the time.
Schwartz is a world-class surgeon, okay? He might not be able to commit to every little 2-hour, event. Same with if we were to talk about our friend Mark, who I think is also very bright. Anyway, okay, so that's fun. So that's how we develop. I had such a good time last night. Thank you, Brandon, and I can't wait to do it again. Trivia night, wherever, coming to a town near you. All right, what else do we need to do? Let's get started. Sorry, get rid of the Adam thing. Hold on, hide that. All right, I'll do this. Barney, look at my guy Barney. My guy Barney in the chat room now. He's losing the weight too. He says I'm about 319, and that's down 40. So be proud, motherfucker. I am proud, dude. Yeah, man, good for you. Look at all us old dudes, man. We gotta stop being fucking fat, lazy. Yeah, we can pull that off at 35. We can pull that off at 25, Actually, nobody wants to be fat, lazy dude at 25, right? You still want to be a little bit, you want to be able to play pickup basketball with your boys if you have to. It's time for us to get in old man shape. It's hard being old, and we can't go into old man age like 50, 100, 150 pounds overweight.
I don't want to keep talking about this, but we could do, we're off there, we'll talk, maybe a weight loss challenge for the listeners, and then I can hook them up with a bunch of gear, clothing.
I don't want to do that. But that's why he's my guy, because he's always got those ideas. He's Billy Blazejowski from Night Shift. If you remember, do you remember Night Shift?
Night Court.
See, he doesn't remember Night Shift. He knows Night Court. You take what you get. Billy Blazejowski. Michael Keaton's first really big comedy role. He's funny. Anyway, plays a guy with nothing but ideas. Billy Blaze.
Don't know.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. What do we need to do? Brandon is, of course, our guest. Sunbrew Brandon in studio with us today. We have an executive producer. Let's not forget about him. He's the king of trivia, but around these parts, we know him as Bill. Bill is our executive producer. Adam says it's harder to lose weight. He's 45. He says harder at 45. It is as you get older. Your body slows down, man. You just, and shit hurts. You can't train or condition yourself the way you once did because muscles tear and joints pop, past 40. It's different. It's crazy. I have not been able to move my arm over my head since training my kid to do long snaps a year ago. And you know what? I just accept that. I just accept that I am now a human being, Brandon, who this arm can only go this high. It cannot go any higher without immense pain. So whatever.
I live it daily, bro. Have you not seen my scars from all my surgeries? Yeah. Broken bones heal and chicks dig scars. That was our motto.
But this injury did not occur because I went skiing at Aspen. It didn't occur because I did something that a man of my age shouldn't be doing. This injury occurred because I was throwing a football over my head like this, which is a way you're supposed to practice spinning it for long snapping. And I did that about 1,000 times, and my arm said, I'm never doing that again. And now I can't raise this arm any higher than this without it hurting. Actually, I can. You want to see? Fuck! See, this really hurts. Probably need surgery, but whatever. I'll just go through life with my arm like this. I'm fine. If I ever had to hang from a cliff or something, I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it. No way. There's no power in this arm. This arm is as powerful as like a 9-year-old girl's.
Do you ever get depressed? Like you watch, I do this all the time. I watch a movie and go, oh my God, I couldn't do that. Like it's ever going to happen to me. Like I'm going to be on a cliff hanging like 007, you know what I mean? Like Mission Impossible. Do you ever have that? Like, all right, God, I can never sing that good. And like you start thinking about it, downs you a little bit.
No, but yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm sure we all think about those things. All right, one more time, let me remind you, the show runs on your gratuities, your tips. If you want to drop a little something as the show moves forward, show your support for this kind of talk radio, kind that doesn't give a shit how you voted, the kind that probably isn't going to talk about voting, the kind that has fun. The kind of talk radio that we used to have around these parts. Let's do that, right? There you go. You can drop a little something in the Venmo. You drop a little something in the Cash App. It's always appreciated. I love you guys. Let's get started with the show. It is the Rant for the 26th day of March, year of our Lord 2025. How many days we got left here? Let me see. Let me see. I like to do this. I like to give this fun fact. 85 days already in this year. That means there are 280 remaining. Get those New Year's Eve plans started. All right, so I want to talk about something. A small talk segment. We'll do this here. I know you're like, what the fuck was that, Pugs? You just did an hour with Brandon. That wasn't small talk. No, that was promotion for our kick-ass trivia event. Is what that was. Brandon, excuse me for a moment. You might just want to sit there because this might just be between me and my chat room.
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
If you're okay with that. All right. No, that's not where I want to be. There we are. Okay, guys. You know how I like to tell you when I find something new and I like to be like, yo, I got to tell my people about this and we all got to watch it together and it can be a shared experience. Most of the time when these things occur, there are things that are already done. They're not happening in real time. It's not anything of the moment. It's like me telling everybody, go and watch Peaky Blinders, right? Go and watch this from a couple of years ago. You'll love it. Okay, so I want to hip you to something that happened to me last night. And by the way, it's got me, those of you may recall when I was in Chicago, I did my daily show, The Watch List, or it wasn't daily. I think we were doing it once or twice a week. The Watch List, which was all about what we're watching on TV. And I'd bring interesting people in and we would talk about what we're watching and it was great. So after what happened last night, I got on the phone this morning and I'm talking to Ed, right? And I'm talking to people. I think I'm going to bring that back. And here's why. I want to do a podcast starting tomorrow night at the earliest. If we can record tomorrow night, that would be great. But I want to do a podcast on a new show that I discovered that has absolutely blown my mind. There are only 2 episodes currently in existence. The next episode posts on Apple TV April 1st, I believe. Maybe it's April 2nd. But you guys, have you heard about The Studio? Okay? The Studio. Here's what I told Big Ed Silla from Radio Misfits. I told him, I said, I haven't been this excited and seen a show with this much promise since I watched Succession. So you know what that means? You know what that means. Here's the deal with The Studio. Hold on. I got way too many windows open, guys. We're going to take a break here for a second while I close some of these damn windows. Nope, that ain't right. You don't need that. Hold on, gang. Don't need video storage. Don't need video storage. Okay, good. Now we're back. It's just us. The Studio comes from Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, right? Everybody knows them. They're 2 of the most prodigious and successful television creators of the past couple of years. Everything they do is amazing. If you're looking for an example, I would urge you to watch Preacher, the FX series Preacher. So you may also remember they make movies, Seth Rogen and his writing partner, Evan Goldberg. They made a movie a couple of years ago called The Interview, which starred Seth Rogen and his buddy, James Franco. Seth Rogen and James Franco made this movie, The Interview. The premise of the film was that they were going to North Korea and they were going to interview Kim Jong-un. They made this film, The Interview. Don't know if you ever saw it. It's brilliant. It's hysterical. Unfortunately, almost nobody ever saw it because the political climate at the time that the film was released was not good. Remember Little Rocket Man? He was, all of this stuff. And now there's this big Hollywood movie starring James Franco and Seth Rogen that is, going to pretend to kidnap Kim Jong-un. North Korea didn't want it. The State Department didn't want it. The State Department came down on Sony. Sony shelved it. No theater release. I don't know if it was even available digitally until a couple of years ago. You can find it now. This led to North Korea perpetrating the famed Sony hack of 2020, right? What do they call it? The fappening? The North Koreans hacked Sony and got into all of the actors and actresses and all of that stuff, their personal pictures. They released them. They also got all kinds of important business stuff. It almost wrecked Sony. That was due to the fallout from Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg making the movie, The Interview. His fallout with Sony is a whole other thing. They can't stand Sony. So while this was all going on, Seth Rogen, like 5 years ago, and Evan Goldberg, they started writing the most let's burn Hollywood fucking down script in history. Well, that has become this new show, The Studio. And it is fun. like I said, there's only 2 episodes right now. I want you to see the trailer. And by the way, if that hasn't interested you, a lot of my kid's entire desire to see something is ruled by Rotten Tomatoes. The Studio is the rare show to debut on Rotten Tomatoes with a 100% rating. Variety is calling it the show that is going to save Hollywood comedy. So let me show you. Oh, and the cast. Did I tell you about the cast? The premise is Seth Rogen is a guy who becomes the head of a big, powerful Hollywood studio. His mentor, the former head of this studio, is played by the brilliant Catherine O'Hara. She has been fired, and now Seth Rogen has ascended to her job. She's a little pissed at him, but he's freaking out and he's overwhelmed. It also stars Ike Barinholtz as his second in command at the studio. Bryan Cranston as the head of the studio. Bryan Cranston is playing this, Breaking Bad. Bryan Cranston plays this Robert Evans type, if you're familiar with that. Gold chains, cocaine, strippers, big money. I want to show you the trailer for this because it's out right now on Apple TV. And if you have it, with the highest of urgencies, I say you need to see this. We're going to start a podcast on it. We're going to do every episode. It's early. You got to get in now. Nobody even knows this show. Here you go. Here's the trailer for The Studio. The best thing about Hollywood that I've ever seen as far as how the sausage is made. And if that's something that interests you, well, I think you'll like it. Here it is. This is the trailer for The Studio on Apple TV.
I am so excited about watching this trailer.
This is going to be perfect.
Can we dim the lights? I got a meeting after this.
Being the head of Continental is the only job I've ever wanted.
Yeah, I'm honored, obviously, to be one of the people that gets to choose, which movies get made and which ones don't. That's huge. And I got into all this because, I love movies, but now I have this fear that my job is to ruin them.
The job is a meat grinder.
Prestige films and box office hits, those are not mutually exclusive. We can do both and we will do both.
Matt, I get it. You want to make great art and make $1 billion doing it. Well, guess what? That never happens, and you're going to screw everything up trying to make it happen.
If it was up to me, we'd be focusing on making the next Rosemary's Baby or Annie Hall or some great film that wasn't directed by a pervert.
Turns out perverts make great movies.
They really do.
Well, I low, okay? There's 0 margin for error on this shot. Action, please.
Greta, I actually want to talk to you about awards season. Just make sure to keep your winter clear. We have
Okay, Matt.
This job is just so much harder than I thought it was going to be.
Matt!
What up, Matt? Everyone wants something from me, and I can't give it to them.
If you guys are actually open to doing something different, I have a lot of ideas.
We love new ideas.
Just not too new, because we got a pretty tight formula that we got to hit.
I wouldn't say it's a formula so much as a structure that we 100% know works, so we're going to do it over and over again.
Fine is not good enough. This is racist. You want to bring down the studio? Why didn't you shut this party down?
Why do you keep lying?
What is wrong with you? The job makes you stressed and panicked and miserable. But when it all comes together and you make a good movie, it's good forever.
Well, you're gonna get us all fired.
The Studio, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critically acclaimed at the wazoo. The first 2 episodes posted 2 days ago on Apple TV. If you got it, I'm telling you, this is going to be the next. They couldn't hear that. No, it just does. Apple TV. It's so here. Wait, let me just show you because let me show you an example. Oh, by the way, also every major star in Hollywood is in this show playing themselves. So if you like that aspect of shows like Entourage and stuff like this, this show's star power makes the celebrities on Entourage look like a bad Merv Griffin show from 1979. They have superstars in this show playing themselves. Martin Scorsese, Charlize Theron. Okay, I don't know. I couldn't think of any more, but there are big ones. I promise you.
Do you have Apple TV?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Or I should say I have access to Apple TV. That's why do you? A lot of people do that.
I have the stick, but unless it's like where I turn on my TV, it's like one of the options. I don't watch anything but those things.
So here, I'm going to show you this clip. This is another clip that's going around. This is funny. The trailer doesn't really give you an example of the humor in it. This is a movie that Seth Rogen is producing called Apocalypse, which is a dumb stoner apocalypse movie. Okay. But it also has zombies who infect you by spraying you with diarrhea. Okay. So this is the high class, sophisticated film that he wants to make.
Hard to say high class and diarrhea in the same sentence.
I know. So here you go. And also in this scene, I think it's Josh Hutcherson playing himself and somebody else as well. All right, here we go. This is a scene from the story.
Breaking news. Tonight, chaos has spread across the city. Officials are advising to shelter in place.
This summer.
You smell that?
Johnny
He's dropping trowel. We got this.
Oh! I got duped. Does this mean I'm gonna die?
We all gotta die sooner or later, buddy. And you're dying sooner.
Apocalypse.
All right, y'all. We love it, but it's whack up in here. We got a trailer crisis. Heartland Theater owners are refusing to show this because of the diarrhea explosion.
What? That's literally the funniest part of the trailer.
No, hold on. This is a movie where zombies infect people with their diarrhea. How the f else are we supposed to sell this?
Okay, well, hold on now. Are we losing the point of the film and the comedy? We made a dark satire about medical disinformation, and I don't want that to get lost.
No, it's true. It's a very deep and complex film, but I want that diarrhea explosion in the trailer.
It's gotta be.
As long as you maintain my client's vision.
Yes, no, it's a deeply complex film, but I want that diarrhea in the scene. All right, there you go. I just wanted to put that on your little radar there. The highest recommendation from yours truly for that. All right, let's get into some things that are happening today. Let's see. And we did that. Diarrheal zombies. That's a thing. You like the zombie movies, Brandon? Are you a zombie movie guy?
Nah.
Not into it. Let's see. Do we have anything here? I don't know. I feel like awkward now trying to just do the regular show since we've already done like an hour of
other stuff.
This kind of show. So I'm having difficulty now figuring out how to transition.
We're trying to go back to the people that died today and were born.
You know what we do? Let's not do. Do we need to know that? Okay, quickly, let's do some birthdays. All right, we don't need to do events today because quite honestly, there wasn't a whole bunch of events of the day. Born on this day, let's give a happy birthday to 1931 Leonard Nimoy. He's Spock. He's my Spock. Didn't the other Spock die?
Who's the other Spock?
The new Spock. What do you mean? The new Spock.
I was never a Trekkie, bro.
Yeah, me neither.
Never did that.
That's like the worst. I was a Star Wars guy. I thought that there was a choice there. I thought that you were either one or the other when I was.
I was a Star Wars as a kid, but I'm no Star Wars as an adult at all. But I saw your Darth Vader.
But Darth Vader and Chewbacca's head in the basket. See?
I've got all my Star Wars toys. I found all my Star Wars toys, a lot of them, and they may be worth some money.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
There is some Star Wars stuff in this room, but if you look at this room, okay, you're looking at all these things. You understand it's not a Star Wars tribute because there's also King Kong, right? We got King Kong, we got lawn jockeys, we got Peter Pumpkinhead, we got Mr. Potato Head, right? We got the NFL robot down there.
It's a little Meow Wolf in here.
It's pop culture.
You know Meow Wolf is?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a little.
Dude,
Meow.
I run a gallery. Yeah, you don't think I know?
Doesn't mean you've been there.
I've been there many times. We're trying to do a version of it. That's kind of one of the ideas that we have for the space. But yeah, what this is a tribute to pop culture more so than just a grown man fixated on Star Wars. I think Darth Vader represents a pretty strong presence of Gen X history.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I do.
All right, Spock, born on this day. Good for him. James Caan, born on this day in 1940. Oh, you like Jimmy Caan?
Yeah. Man. Loved him in Godfather.
What do you did you know anything about his personal life?
Not really, no.
Brother, let me tell you something. There was no better dude to be in the world. Go kick rocks with your fucking Hefner. Go get out of here with your whoever. Around about 1974, man, there was no better person in the world to be than James Caan. He was coming off The Godfather. He was handsome. But not only that, he was the rare non-theater kid actor. Like even the actors who play tough guys, they're all song and dance man. You know what I mean? They're like that. James Caan was a legit, the fuck you talking about?
It's a badass.
I don't even know the badass because he was a little guy, but he took no shit. He wasn't one of these. You know what I'm saying?
He was a regular at the mansion.
He was a fucking alpha, if I may be so bold. James Caan was an alpha. He lived at the Playboy Mansion
all the time.
Every playmate from the 1970s. Do you know what James Caan used to do? Imagine being able to do this. He told this on Grant. There's this interview series, Grant Bensinger or whatever. He usually does sports guys.
Yeah.
But he sat down with Caan, and Caan told the story of how he dated in the 70s. Here's how he dated in the 70s. He would get the new Playboy magazine delivered to him. And then he would sit there on his couch and he would thumb through, and anybody, not centerfolds or whatever, if you wanted the centerfold, that's fine. But anybody in that magazine, he would then pick up the phone, call Hef and go, page 22, bottom right, blonde. I want to meet her. And she'd come over that night and they'd go out to dinner. And, it wasn't prostitution. It wasn't. Yeah, there's no guarantee of anything, but he's James Caan. So she's banging him.
Oh, yeah.
He's Sonny Corleone. He's a badass. Favorite James Caan movie for me is Thief. Don't know if you guys ever saw that. That was a movie that was buried. Didn't get a wide theatrical release. It was Michael Mann's first movie. So if you know Michael Mann, well, you go on to invent Miami Vice and Traffic and all kinds. Michael Mann is a genius. Anyway, Thief is my favorite. He plays a thief. Yeah, Jim Belushi is in it. Jim Belushi's first role, like years before Jim Belushi was on Saturday Night Live. Jim Belushi got on Saturday Night Live in like 82, 83. Thief was shot in 79. So anyway, Thief is my favorite. Happy, but you got a favorite James Caan? I think you said it.
Definitely Godfather. But he's also pretty good in that Casino, though. He's much older. He was Josh. Is it Duhamel? What was the guy?
You're talking Las Vegas. You're talking about Las Vegas, the TV show. He was very good in that NBC.
Yeah, I liked him in that as well.
He was great, and that was good to see him because he hadn't worked in a while, and he's one of the A-listers of Hollywood of his time. And when that guy disappears for 15 years and then turns up on a TV show, you're like, oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna watch that. He's awesome.
He was a man's man, kind of,
and a real alpha, alpha who took no shit. You ever seen Rollerball?
Yeah, I can't remember what's it about.
Rollerball was made in like 1970, 71, 72, somewhere in there. Again, at the apex, James Caan. Rollerball was about a fictional sport of the future called Rollerball, where it was like roller derby, but with these steel balls that they would smash into each other's head and kill people. They would kill each other.
Okay,
people didn't survive these games. And James Caan was like the Tom Brady of Rollerball. It's such a badass movie. But here's what's funny about it. It's set in the future. Remember, it was made in 1970. I think it's set in like 1987. And it's like everybody's walking around and like all doors go, it's like 1987 is the future. Everybody lives in glass bubbles. By the way, you know my thoughts on that. We all think in the future that we're going to have these doors that, like front doors to our houses. We won't need keys. We'll just walk up and they'll go. You know why that's not going to happen?
No.
Dude, the exact same reason we could have had that 40 years ago. It's the exact same reason we aren't going to have flying cars. Because when we need to get into our fucking house at 3 o'clock in the morning after being balls drunk, we just want to go to bed or we got to poop or something, we're not going to want to be at risk of having, well, the tech is down at the moment. There's no internet. I can't get into my house. Oh, the gears, there's something wrong. You want a key and a door.
But you can have
into
both.
Your house.
I've got like the electric door locks at my place, and you have the optional keyhole, but you also can just do your thumbprint.
That's the compromise. You got to have both. Gotta have both.
It's your backup.
But all doors, my point is this, all doors are not going to be, you'll need both because sometimes it's going to go like this. It's going to be fritzy like an elevator door, and you're not going to be able to get into your house.
There will always be a backup. We're going to have doors like that. Our cars are like that. If you can't get your car to do something, you're push the button, you got to pop up the middle console and like throw your key down there or something.
I'm just telling you, we can't handle automatic doors or flying in the sky with our cars. We can't do that. That's not going to be a thing. All right. Who else is having a birthday here? Richard Dawkins is celebrating a birthday today. I'm going to take my hat off for Richard Dawkins, the great Richard Dawkins. Of course, many people know him as with his little Brandon, with all due respect. Yeah, you're not supposed to know who Richard Dawkins is.
I had no clue. I thought you were going to say Dawson earlier, but it's Dawkins. I don't know who the hell that is.
This is the Family Feud guy, but Richard, look, he's one of these. I'll tell you what, he's a Kenyan English ethologist, biologist, and academic.
Yeah.
Nah. But here's the thing. He's really smart and really funny, and he explains things really well. So, when I was younger in the 90s and stuff, Richard Dawkins, he was a real important guy to me. Chris Hitchens was another one who was a real important guy who kind of laid the world out for me in the way that I chose to see it. The Four Horsemen, famously known as the Four Horsemen of atheism, because they are all atheists. And although I'm not an atheist, I do have a challenged view of faith. Chris Hitchens, Dawkins, Sam Harris, and Daniel Dennett. They're the Four Horsemen. Let me just tell you something. Okay. Let me just tell you this. Trust me, I'm not going to waste your time, but you can find this incredibly famous conversation. If you're into really famous, really interesting conversation with smart people talking about things that affect you and that you've never really thought this deeply about, go to YouTube and just watch The Four Horsemen. Here's what it is. It's those guys. It's Dawkins, Dennett, Hitchens, and Sam Harris. They all came together to Christopher Hitchens' home before he died. He just died. Well, it didn't just die. He died about 10 years ago. They all came together. They sat down. Probably the four smartest people on the planet. They came together, they sat down, and they talked for 2 hours about the world. And it is the most get stoned, crack a beer, sit on your couch, and watch these I'll give you an example of what it is. I obviously will not make you watch the whole thing, but here.
It is the accusation that we are strident or arrogant or vitriolic or shrill.
So let me just pause this for a second here. Okay, so the guy who's talking right now, the guy in the glasses right here, this is our birthday boy, okay? Richard Dawson of the Family Feud. No, Richard Dawkins. He's the guy that's talking. The bald guy with the beard is Daniel Dennett. Christopher Hitchens is the guy smoking the butt over here. Christopher Hitchens is the greatest mind of my lifetime. If you are unfamiliar with who Christopher Hitchens was, you need to look him up. You need to read some of the things that he said. The dude was fucking hysterical and off the charts genius. And this is Sam Harris. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go anywhere in this conversation. I'm just going to fast forward. I'm going to drop us somewhere, and you're just going to get a taste of what these dudes talk about, okay? Well, let's go right here. This will be good. Here we are.
Thinking about starting to run on the treadmill again. I need to drop my belly fat.
Yeah, no, that's total BS.
I think I'm going to start cutting.
And I wouldn't say it was schizophrenia. That would be rude. But they're quite aware of the implausibility of what they say. They don't act on it when they go to the doctor or when they travel or anything of this kind. Right. But in some sense, they couldn't be without you. But they're quite respectful of the idea of doubt. In fact, they try and build it in when they can.
Well, that's interesting then. And so when they are reciting the creed with its total sort of apparent conviction, is this a kind of mantra which is forcing themselves to overcome doubt by saying, yes, I do believe, I do believe, I do believe,
religion,
because really I don't.
And of course, like the others, like their secular counterparts, they're glad other people believe it. It's an affirmation they wouldn't want other people not to be making.
Well, also there's this curious bootstrapping move, which I tried to point out in this recent On Faith piece, this idea that you start with the premise that belief without evidence is especially noble. I mean, this is the doctrine of faith. This is the parable of doubting Thomas. And so you start with that, and then you add this notion, which has come to me through various debates, that the fact that people can believe without evidence is itself a subtle form of evidence. I mean, we're kind of wired to, actually Francis Collins, you mentioned, brings this up in his book. We're
there you go. Kind of shit. If you're interested, I know we lost you. That's Okay, this is the kind of stuff that people who don't get laid are into. Okay, just
the accents make them sound so much smarter.
No, look, they could talk like this, and the shit they're saying is going to be. These are the most brilliant minds. Frank Benlin says no paywall. I must have the wrong stream. Frankie B, what are you talking about? I don't know what that means. Have you ever encountered a paywall? That's not a thing that you should ever encounter. Okay, let's keep going. Let's run through a couple of big ones, Brandon. Born on this day in 1945, Diana Ross.
Oh.
She's a big one. She's one of the...
How old would she be now, Pugs?
Diana Ross, born in 1940, 50, 60, 70, 75, plus
45?
6 is 81. She's 81 today. Look at me doing pizza math. I can do math like that because I used to have to give change when delivering
Pizza math.
Pizza math.
All of our origins, where they come from.
Diana Ross, born on this day in 1944. Born on this day in 1948. Here's another big one. Steven Tyler. Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday to him. Any thoughts on Steven Tyler?
I just can't believe he's still rocking at this age,
Yeah.
All these guys do that. That's what keeps them alive.
Born on this day. Happy birthday, 1950. How about Canadian icon? And, look, I could be convinced to call him a comedy legend, a comedy icon, a treasure even maybe. I just think he's a little much. I love him, but he could dial it back like maybe 2 or 3%. He's a little, it's the reason I didn't like Robin Williams. I know you people are like, Pugs was the guy who didn't think Robin Williams was funny. It's not that I didn't think he was funny. I thought he was just too much. It was too much. Come on, be a little bit more subtle. Robin Williams was the guy in the bar who hits on every single girl he sees until one says yes. That's what his comedy was. His comedy was joke the bombs, joke the bombs, joke the bombs, joke the bombs, killer. Joke the bombs, and so I didn't like that.
Yeah, 2 over the top for me also.
Martin Short is like that. Martin Short's birthday. I think Martin Short is hysterically funny. I do. I love him. SCTV, Saturday Night Live, Ed Grimley, all of that stuff. Martin Short, he's a genius. Only Murders in the Building. I don't watch. It seems like a show for gays and women. I'm just saying. I don't fit into either of those demographics. Happy birthday, Martin Short. Born on this day in 1950. Born on this day in 1966, the great Michael Imperioli, Christopher from The Sopranos. There's a guy on TikTok who imitates all the Sopranos. He's like a 19-year-old kid. And I'm like, how did he even watch The Sopranos? He's a 19-year-old kid, and he does TikToks where he recreates entire scenes from The Sopranos as every character. And he crushes. His best, however, is our birthday boy today, Michael Imperioli. He has a Christopher Moltisanti from The Sopranos impression that crushes.
His wife from the show ended up on OnlyFans.
You mean his girl? I don't think they were ever. I don't think. They
were his chick, whatever they were.
Yeah, she's actually married to Shooter Jennings, or at least she was. We're talking about. Why can't I think of her name? The actress from The Sopranos. I can't think of her. That doesn't matter. Moving on. Happy birthday, 1968. Born on this day, Kenny Chesney. Who's he married to? Is he the one that's married? Who's married to Nicole Kidman?
Oh, that's the dude from American Idol. I can't think.
It's not Kenny Chesney.
No, it's not Kenny Chesney. No,
it's Keith Urban.
Keith Urban. That's it.
There you go. Okay, that just came to me.
Yeah.
All right. So Kenny Chesney, was he with one of these guys? Was with an actress, and they broke up because the dude turned out he was gay. It was like he wasn't. I think is that Kenny Chesney? You know what? I'm clicking on it. I'm going to go into his personal life, and I'm going to see exactly.
So yeah, Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, right?
Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. Don't besmirch them. They're a lovely couple.
No, I'm not. Liked them in that show, 1923 or 1988 or something, or 1888.
Yeah, 1883. Yeah. All right, here we go. Personal life for Kenny Chesney. In 2000, Chesney and Tim McGraw were involved in a scuffle with police in Orchard Park, New York, after Chesney attempted to ride a police horse. That's baller. That's rock and roll. Don't you ever tell me that these country son of a bitches weren't as nuts as Led Zeppelin in their prime, because all you got to do is check out the kind of shit that Johnny Paycheck was up to. You'll learn. These country sons of bitches, especially back in the day. Let's see here. On May 9th, 2005, Cheney married actress Renee Zellweger. That's it. Okay, here we go.
I don't recall ever hearing that.
Yeah, let's see if we get detail. He's gay. They broke because he was like, he didn't want to fuck me. He's like, it's like into dudes. Or she didn't say that. Like her assistant said that. Like told like People Magazine or something. Anyway, it became a whole thing. And also that's what it was. It was the divorce decree. It was how she wrote, Renee Zellweger. It's how her lawyers chose to say they wanted a divorce that led everyone to go, oh, he's gay. Like it was one of those kinds of things. On May 9th, 2005, Chesney married actress Renee Zellweger in a ceremony on the island of St. John. They had met in January at a relief event for the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. On September 15, 2005, after only 4 months of marriage, they announced their plans for an annulment. Here it is. Zellweger cited fraud.
Wow.
That's what it was. That has been the traditional way that women have sued for divorce when they find out their husband is gay. The legal term for getting out of that relationship is it was fraud because he's not going to do his marital duties.
I'm going to start using that.
Zellweger cited fraud.
I think her dude's fraud.
Zellweger cited fraud as the reason in the related papers, and after media scrutiny of her use of the word fraud, she qualified the use of the term, stating that it was, it's just legal language. Yeah, okay. She had to come out and say something. She didn't say he's not gay. No, she said, oh, everybody's reacting. It's just legal language. Whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Let's see what else. Zellweger cited fraud, blah, blah. Chesney later suggested that the failure of his marriage was due to the fact that he'd panicked. In an interview by 60 Minutes with Anderson Cooper, Chesney commented on the failed marriage. The only fraud that was committed was me thinking that I knew what it was like, that I really understood what it was like to be married, and I really didn't. Yeah, Kenny, gotta have sex with her. You got marriage is like you gotta have sex with a woman. I don't know if you're down with that. Anyway, happy birthday, Kenny Chesney. Couldn't name one song. I know that he's a superstar.
Hell, I attended his concert one time over in Frisco.
So you know Kenny Chesney music?
I don't. I was paid to be there for Yellowtail Wine.
Yeah. You don't really know music. Like you're not really like a music. Like you know the big ones, and you're like, oh, yeah. I like this song and all that, and that's fine. I don't know. I mean, I bet I know a lot of Kenny Chesney songs. I just don't know it's Kenny Chesney.
I'm sure we heard him. We go, oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because he's a very big star. Born on this day in 1968, James E. Ha. He, of course, of the Smashing Pumpkins. Terrific player. Born on this day in 1989, Von Miller. Is Von Miller in the Wind? Von Miller. Okay, so here's a cool story. So Von Miller, of course, NFL great. Last season with the Buffalo Bills. I think he's a free agent now, or I'm not sure. I don't know what the status is. Of course, he's a Dallas kid, born and raised, was one of Texas or Dallas area's best football products of the past, 15 years or so. Sorry, I'm being distracted by something that's on the TV. Von Miller, last year, we talked about him right here on this show. He got in trouble with Dallas police right here on Turtle Creek for beating up his girlfriend or whatever it was, baby mama. I think she was pregnant. He apparently got a little handsy with her. I think beating her up is a bit overstating it. I apologize. I don't recall the exact details. So with all due respect, I'm just trying to be entertaining. Anyways, he was in the news for that. But here's the funny thing about him. His little brother plays in my son's division, and Von Miller's little brother is like a super good linebacker. And it's just funny because I didn't even know it was Von Miller's. Well, I found out at a game that it was Von Miller, or that it was Von Miller's.
But it makes sense. That's genetics.
Right. No, not that he's good. Of course he's good. But it's funny that my kid who's a center, who's one of the best centers in the area, knows full well who that Von Miller's little brother is, because he's supposed to be really good too. That kid, Von Miller's kid, is like one of the top ranked high school. Well, he's a sophomore. He's going into junior. He's my son's age. In the state of Texas. He's definitely going to be something. I don't know his name. He goes to some school in Frisco. That's all I know. All right, let's do dead people. These are some people who died on this day, Brandon. Let's decide whether or not we think they went to heaven or hell based on nothing more than what we understand about the rules there. Dead on this day, Beethoven.
Heaven.
Why?
Just he's like a god in the music world. I don't know. I can't say much. I mean, classical music, it's not rap, like, gangster rap.
Yes,
fancy.
It's a hard one for me because, I honestly don't know shit about Beethoven.
I don't either, but I just think that's something Jesus would like to hear up in heaven.
If this was Mozart, I'd be able to go, I saw Amadeus. I know what that dude was like, but I have no idea what Beethoven
I think
was
we're just
supposed
trained
to
to
like.
think that Beethoven's a big deal because we were somehow told this.
He's a big deal because we still know who he is.
Yeah,
dude, there are bands from the 90s that you don't recall, but we still remember Beethoven.
Yeah.
So no, he stood the test of time. I don't know, nor do I appreciate exactly what it is that he did, but other people do, and I get that they probably.
It's better to put him in heaven though, just to be safe.
All right,
you don't want to put someone to hell.
Based on Brandon, Beethoven goes to heaven. Now you said it's not like he's a rapper or anything.
The gangster rapper, I said gangster rapper.
Oh, specifically. Let me make sure
difference.
Let me make sure that Dead on This Day, 1985, that Eazy-E is a gangster rapper. He's only the gangster rapper. He was the gangster.
I know.
Yeah.
I want him to be in heaven though, because I like to be entertained.
I know.
But man, I hate to put him in hell. But I don't put no one in hell. All right, I'm gonna give him a pass and put him in heaven.
Oh, you're going heaven for Easy.
With a pass.
Can I just say, for people who are too young to truly appreciate this, back in like 1993, 1994, there was nobody that could get me to tune into something than Eazy-E speaking. Like I remember if an NWA was on Arsenio Hall or something, we'd all. Sure, there are other names in NWA, but it was Easy who would say the thing that got everybody in trouble. Easy gave no fucks about anything at any time. Easy was the actual only gangster in NWA.
What year did he die, though? What year did
95,
he die?
1995.
Okay. Hold on. Let's talk about the gangsters. Let's see. You got Cube, Dre.
Yeah, both of those guys were good boys.
Yellow's from Dallas, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Yellow is from Dallas.
And now Dre's brother was killed for being a badass. He got in some fights a lot. So Dre was not involved in anything bad.
No, I mean, look, they came from a tough neighborhood, so they
were around it. They probably, but they weren't Easy. He was drug dealing, all the crazy stuff. So,
Easy funded NWA.
Yeah.
Easy saw what Dre could do and how Ice sounded in the studio, and Easy said, "Let's make some money." And so Easy was the businessman. He was the gangster.
Where would you put him? Heaven or hell? What's your play?
Oh, he's in hell. He's
You're putting him to hell? Oh man, he's got one of the greatest songs of all time, though.
He does. He absolutely does. He's terrific. He's
I'm giving
fun.
him a pass. I'm putting him up there.
All right, I gotta put him in hell though. All right, that's gonna do it. Those are the people who died. All right, so. One more time, I do want to thank our executive producer of the day. You know him in the chat room as Bill. I know him as the new king of trivia. So everybody please give old Bill, excuse me, I'm burping. Somebody please give old Bill a big hearty handshake. Once again, we've got Sunbrew Brandon in studio. He's our guest. When you hear the other person, you know that that's him. I am Pugs Moran. Don't forget, you can support this show anytime, Venmo or Cash App. Thank you so much. All right, let's do a couple things. We got some fun stuff going on here. I don't give it. Look, guys, Signal Gate, not really, not into it. I told you what I feel about it yesterday. It's big oops. Just fucking admit it. Let's move on. Admit it. Don't do that again, okay? But this endless sitting around going, it's no big deal, is just insulting to anybody with half a brain. Stop it. You fucked up. People fuck up. Maybe someone's got to be fired. I don't know. We'll see. But just admit it, because you not admitting it is driving everybody insane. Moving on. All right, that's Signal Gate. That's the big oops. That's what everybody's... Did the president speak, by the way? I was waiting earlier today. It was said that he was going to speak on this issue. And oh, damn. That I would have had me time. That's kind of why the show was late. I thought Trump was supposed to speak at like 12:10. I wanted to watch him, and I wanted to time it with the start of the show. All right, but we're not going to go. We're not getting into any of that shit. Signal Gate. Look, the Atlantic released all the texts. The Atlantic, after 2 days of the administration going, there were no war plans. This is not. The Atlantic today said, okay, fine. We didn't want to do this. Here is everything. And they put it all out there. So that means, look at it yourself. Make your own opinion. But don't sit here. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. All right? Again, I know what I saw. Here's another thing I saw. Let's take a spin around Dallas. We got some crazy people in Dallas here. Did you see what happened at DFW Airport yesterday?
No, I did not. I didn't see the news last night.
This is awesome. I don't know. Hey, Brandon, come get your girl. A chick stripped down completely naked in Terminal D and then started completely freaking out. And of course, nobody stopped her. They all just filmed her. So we're gonna watch a video.
Is she hot or not?
Well, let me tell you something, Brandon. It's a little, let's you and I try and figure that out. Let's, because I've already seen it and I have thoughts. So let's see.
We're going to see if a real crime was committed or not.
We're going to see, right. What's the crime here? All right. This is DFW Airport. Let's watch this yesterday. Terminal D, it says. At least I think it was yesterday. It was posted yesterday. So, you know, I assume. Here, let's go. All right.
Turn your screen this way. I got to see this.
I will get you.
Here's me all blurred.
All right, here we go. You know, let me see how big I can make this. We'll get rid of that. Boop. Okay. Let's get rid of these. Close those. All right, that'll be best. All right, once again, this is DFW Airport Terminal D. This was posted yesterday. I think it was yesterday, but who cares? It's evergreen content.
No way, stop.
Oh, shit. What the fuck?
She's trying to. No, I'm just stopping her.
That's fucking wow.
All right, let me just pause it right there, right about the halfway mark, Brandon. Let's bring us all back in. How do we do this? Oh no, that's not.
First of all, the worst videographers of all time. They didn't do no zooms in. Like, what the hell, dude? They kept it like at a distance the whole time.
First of all, and again, we're halfway through, so we will be commenting on the rest. This is a woman at DFW Airport yesterday, Terminal D, who stripped down her clothes. By the way, this should be noted, since we're trying to figure out who this is, Terminal D is Frontier and Spirit Airlines.
That makes a lot of sense.
So it's those kinds of people.
Spirit.
You know, it's the people who would have taken a Greyhound. It was just a little bit too far. So now they're going Spirit or Frontier Airlines. My first observation is, Brandon, it's been a while for me. I haven't been out in the dating world. I don't know what the young girls are doing these days, but I am very pleased to see that the bush is back. I appreciate the bush. Sexually coming of age in the 80s and 90s, the bush was a staple, and then you weirdos made it go away, and it was very so welcome back. I think I would like the compromise to be the mid-90s racing stripe.
I like
there
the strip.
You go.
Landing strip. Not a racing stripe. Landing strip.
Yeah, okay. That's a good one.
But you could put like lines to it like you do in your hair.
Well, look, there was a period between like 97 and 2003 where there was all kinds of nonsense going on there before they just got rid of it altogether.
Yeah.
Between 2003 and 2000, and I'd say, well, I don't know. The last, you were hard pressed to find any roughage at all. It was all just smooth like a baby, which is gross, which is exactly why I wanted nothing to do with it. You know, look, if you're my girlfriend, you should know I had an edict. Don't shave down there.
What age do you think she was?
I'd put her at 22, 23. I think something like that.
From my distance, it's hard to tell. Not on my glasses on, but I noticed that her shape, her shape looked like she's probably decent.
Mm-hmm.
From what I could see.
Yeah, hold on now. Wait a second. We should probably frame what this is. This is Brandon of Sunbrew. Brandon has been working bikini teams and putting together bikini calendars and all this stuff. You have a stable of probably hundreds of beautiful girls in the area that if you need certain modeling jobs, you can call. So you are the best evaluator of what you're looking at here. Let me just tell you something. From this distance, Brandon, I think that body, she could be a Sunbrew girl. That body is not bad.
I've seen that same routine in my house many times.
They come over to your house and audition.
I'm just saying, I've seen them be drunk and act like that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily my girls, but girls that are trying out for the team. Let's call them hang-arounds.
So before we move forward, we can establish that so far, although we don't have a really good look at her face, we can establish that she's pretty good.
I'm thinking, from what I could tell in the outline, it looks good. Yeah,
it looks pretty good. All right, let's continue. Let me see. How do I go back to that? There we go. All right, part two. Again, DFW Terminal D. Frontier and spirit. It's very important to let you know. Context is everything.
That's crazy.
All right. Side boob is not bad. I wish I could get it a little bit better. Nah, I can't because then you lose the share. So.
Oh, shit.
She's got good boobs. I think she's got good boobs. They look natural and they're of a ample.
I can't see them, but her ass is not that great. But she's still like a, based on what I'm seeing, at the very least, she's a 6 as far as body was go, like a 6.
There ain't nothing. That's a 6 to you. That ain't no 6.
I said
she's got a great body. Her butt is fine. What's wrong with her butt?
It's not what. Watch the movement of it. It's not super rounded.
There you go. Look at that.
Now let me look.
That looks great. That is a nice ass, Brandon.
Okay, from that angle, yeah, it looks great. But when you turn to the side, the curve is not. You're seeing a nice butt that way, straight on. But you got to go to the side. Well, you can't rotate it, but you'll see.
Look, let's.
It's not. Listen, she's a solid 6 in the body right now. Maybe 7.
The elephant in the room. We can't see her face. We have no idea what's going on there.
The hairstyle makes me think probably not so great.
But somebody who, she's not fit, right? She's natural.
No, she's not fit.
Her
She's
body
natural.
is
Yes,
natural that way. Okay, so that tells me that she's not all of that focused on being beautiful, because maybe she's not. Maybe her face is just bleh, and it's always been that.
And it might be because of her lack of ability to create, with makeup and hairstyles and such.
I just really want her to be pretty, because I want to think that there are girls like this running around DFW. I just want her to be pretty. Tap dancing, she's fun.
She's dancing. She's river dancing. Well, there she starts twerking almost.
She's fun. Yeah. Okay, so here we have Concerned Citizen, who I think we'll hear from off mic later. I think you're going to hear her say something to the guy recording. So Concerned Citizen is a woman is trying to give her jacket, is trying to cover her with her jacket. Let's see how Party Girl handles this. Because she's going to run. Now, this is very important. Baywatch beach scene. We got to see exactly how do they move? How's the body handle the running? She's about to give us a full-on Baywatch beach run.
Yeah, this is getting better.
Again, terrible camera work. What are you doing, man? At that point, you got to zoom in.
This guy, I think he's looking with his eyes so much he's not focused on the camera. He's using his eyes, not his camera.
Oh, I don't care. I'll look at it later. I'm going to make sure I get this on camera.
Yeah, he's too into the real moment that's in front of him.
And also, let me explain. I am not taking such care to make sure that I get the good shots because I'm some perv who's going to use it later. I want it to go viral.
But he's in the moment and he's in the experience, and I do this from time to time as well.
There we go. I love that. I wish at some point she'd have gone, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you. I wish she had done that bit, and she doesn't.
I think she's trying to board the plane.
There we go. Look at this again. All right, now she's going after the video monitors. She is, and she ain't done, Brandon. We got some time left here. Any thoughts so far as we're going to now move into the final?
I'm loving this, actually.
Of the the third act of this 3-act play that we've just seen. She is now going into the violent stages, where her enemy seems to be the video monitors that we see at every airport. TV again. Nope. Not bad.
Yeah, you got action, people.
She did it. She broke it. It took her 3 throws to get that monitor to go out.
You think some of these pervy guys that exist, because they're all around us, would be like trying to tackle her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Well, yeah. Okay. So
not tackle, but like restrainer.
That's what I wanted to get into with you. Okay. So let's let the rest of it play out. And then let's have a conversation about how normal people should handle this situation should they be in it. All right, let's finish it up. This is DFW Airport. Girl stripped naked, went absolutely bonkers yesterday.
Oh, she put that up. Oh. Y'all just gonna let her do that?
Well, now she's doing sexy walk. That's kind of sexy naked stripper walk. Look at her. That's a confident, sexy. We just had sex. She's gonna go make coffee. That's a sexy walk.
Here's what's funny. I would pay to watch this. It's so entertaining. I don't go to strip clubs. I don't spend my money that way. By no means, but this I like. This is interesting.
Look, I think that body's fine, Brandon. I still can't see the face, although
it's here's the deal. It's a normal body. It's not normal the fact that she's probably it's better than normal, but it's not that great.
Look, were I age appropriate, sure. But unfortunately, where I am right now, I need to be the guy chasing her down with a blanket to try to get her covered up because I need to be in this moment relating to who her father is. Somewhere.
I'm walking over there going, hey, let's get you on a show tomorrow and talk about this.
Yes,
that's what I'm doing.
You're trying to exploit her. I'm trying to make sure, she doesn't hurt herself because she's someone's daughter. Going through something.
I was trying to give her my coat.
Running up.
Thank you for coming to help me. I was just trying,
Okay.
Is that her saying thank you?
That's it.
Was that her saying thank you for coming to help me?
I don't know what that was. I don't know. I kind of lost. At the end there.
I'm going to ask you a question. Whenever you see something like this going down with her, I'm recording it. But do you ever get weird when you see something you want to record that involves police? Like, are they going to get mad that I'm? Do you ever feel that way? You just record?
No, yeah, absolutely.
I always feel like I'm always kind of embarrassed that I'm doing it a little bit. But this I would record all day long. I would have tried to chase her down and interview her.
Where I have issues, like if it's a situation where police are involved or something like that, no, I mean, I'm actually most comfortable with that because I completely understand the law. Everybody knows it. The cops even know it. The cops are recording everything too. So they're recording us. So that's fine. When I get weird is when I see something nutty happening in a Target and I want to take a video of some other people that I don't know because they're being weird. That's when I kind of nah, I can't do that.
See, I respect I know the laws. I respect the police. I feel kind of like a jackass for recording certain things. So, but this I'm recording all day long and having a field day with. Remember during the protests we had about 4 or 5 years ago?
Oh, sure.
All right, and there was this certain group of people that had stuff for pepper mace and milk and stuff on them. And they wore some kind of a symbol, so you knew they were part of that underground militant thing going on.
Yeah.
You don't remember,
I remember the scene, the situation, but the specifics of it, I didn't.
I interviewed a lot of those people on that, man. When I was like, "What the hell are they doing?" I thought they were about to do something crazy, so I started interviewing, talking to them, and it was so interesting. But I think Emil is good. He loves this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
He walked around in the streets during the not Rodney King.
Oh yeah, he was down there. The coolest Emil, who runs the e-gallery here. He has the most badass picture of himself that we're going to have blown up, okay? And it's him back in the protest. He wasn't participating. He just knew it was a moment, and he was like, "I'm going to go stand and walk around." He was a reporter
almost in the midst of it, right there. And I watched it for over an hour.
And people also have to understand that he was living downtown. This was happening outside his front door, so it wasn't like he had to really.
He walked a long way though, because I watched him for over an hour.
Yeah. There is a picture of him walking, and he's wearing khaki pants or khaki shorts, and I think he's wearing a tie-dye shirt maybe, and he's got his long Emil hair, and he's walking along this building in downtown. You see, it looks like he's walking down a sidewalk, right? Next to him is some dude in full-on throwing a Molotov cocktail, just full on about to throw a Molotov cocktail in his hand, and Emil is walking right next to him yeah, I'm late for the bus. He's not even involved. It is the coolest two people. Now, the thing that makes it really great is this entire picture is obscured by tear gas. You see all the tear gas in the photo, and all you see is Emil just walking, and this dude next to him just like in full on. It's a
I thought he could have sold the footage. It was so real in the moment. Like it was
you're
really
talking about
good.
his Facebook stream when he was down there covering it about 5 years ago. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was awesome.
He would turn one street and there they come again. Here's another one. They just kept coming, marching down the road.
All right, so let's get back to the story of the girl that we just covered there. That stripped her clothes off at DFW airport. Went on a bit of
did they say her name?
Fun. I don't know. I don't care about her name. I don't want to talk about her name. We'll find that afterwards.
I want to find her.
Then we'll contact her and maybe she wants to come in.
Trivia.
I think it's Barney in the chat room. I think he's got, Barney in the chat room probably has the best idea of what's going on here. And he says that she's probably a girl returning or heading on spring break who maybe took some of the drugs a little early. It is a little, or maybe it was over. Like maybe she's coming back from spring break and she had drugs left over. So she just took them all on the flight.
Possibly. Like, where are her clothes at? That's what we're all wondering, I think, also.
I don't know if she was coming or going. Okay, so now let's talk about the very real societal aspect of this, because we see this more and more with viral video. People behaving in incredibly strange and not necessarily dangerous, but uniquely non-traditional like that. I would know how to describe what that was. She was doing damage. So she was breaking the law on a number. What were the laws she was breaking? Obscenity laws. She was naked in public.
Yeah. What do you call it? Disturbing the peace?
Disturbing the peace, sure.
Vandalism.
Vandalism, damage to property.
Also, in an airport, maybe it's a different level of vandalism.
There might be a whole slew of federal things because it isn't an airport. Yeah.
Also, any dress codes. A lot of places have signs that says no shoes, no shirt, no service.
I don't think that's a law. That's a policy. But
and props to the fact that finally we have a girl doing it, not some guy with dingling kicking out. It's always guys that do this shit.
Is it?
It's always guys running around naked.
I think it's always women, and they're always gross. That's why that's
the strip club on Harry Hines. I'm talking about in this video. It's always a dude, and then you got to wrestle the guy, and he's got his dingling all hanging out. And you're like, you know what I mean? They always have to tackle him.
All right, so what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? I'm a 50-something-year-old man. You're not that far behind. We find ourselves in this situation. I guess there's a whole bunch of criticism in the comments of this video of people saying, why didn't someone tackle her? Why didn't security just tackle her? Well, first of all, why didn't security? I don't know. I can't speak to their official policies, but as far as the general public, the civilians that were there, why didn't they tackle her? Because she seems crazy, and you don't need that in your life. And everybody knows that they can get sued for anything.
I don't think that's what it is. I think people were just stunned and watching it and let it play out. That's probably what was going on, because any guy can tackle her and handle her. That wasn't it. They just wanted to let it play out and go, what's going on? They were just in shock.
Well, yeah, that was the other part that I was going to say.
Sorry.
Other people were just, and also probably the same people, it was all complicated situation. It was fucking great to watch. Who wants to stop it?
Yeah.
It's like, this is fun. I'm not going now. If she were get to a point where she's going to hurt herself, she could climb up on something and jump up. Then you got to get involved. But at that point, she was just naked, running around, being silly. Then she started breaking things. The airport at that point, that's when they should send their security in. But I don't think there's anything on us. So to answer the question, what should we do? Get out of the way. That's what I think we should do. We should also
get your phone out.
Get your phone out. I'm sorry. I know that that's like one of these program things. That's one of the new programming now. Whenever we see these things, you're supposed to get really angry and in the comments section go, yeah, just film it. That's all. Oh, fuck you, you self-righteous jerk. Filming it because it's funny, because we want to show our friends, because the world is wild, and now all these one-off experiences we have that we used to have to share through storytelling at bars, we can now show our friends. That's why we're recording it. So stop it with the whole, why isn't it, we should just recording? Yeah, just stand around and record. Yeah.
What's sad is I've actually, as I'm sitting here digesting this, I've actually experienced this, but we're not strangers. Somewhat people I know that are messed up at clubs or something afterwards. I mean, I've experienced this, but not in public at the airport. I've had plenty of people get in my car who are not clothed, and I got to get them somewhere where they're drunk or somewhere safe and let them,
So let me ask you, so you take her down. She's obviously crazy. Regular dude takes her down. As Al says in the chat room, maybe a woman. There should be a woman. Where are the women in security? There's women all over the airport with uniforms. Why weren't they handling this? But regular guy takes her down. A number of things can happen. She could double kiss her head on the floor. Those are hard floors. Now all of a sudden she's got brain damage, and you no longer have a house. That kind of thing. Then there's also, she's fucking crazy. You could trust her because you're not a professional who doesn't know how to deal with crazy people. She could bite your fucking nose off.
But the likelihood, here's my deal with crazy. When they're wearing clothes or have a bag, they might be crazy and have a gun. She obviously has no weapons on her other than a water bottle.
Right.
So I'm not worried about this chick biting my nose off.
Well, she's got that lady pocket. Who knows what she's got stuffed up there?
That's true.
And by the way, I should absolutely shut my mouth and just listen to whatever you say here, because I don't think there's anybody in North Texas who has more experience dealing with crazy hot chicks than yours truly.
Yeah, I would say that's true. I do have videos for you know what? Speaking of that, I have videos I recorded for my protection.
Mm-hmm.
I've recorded situations and they didn't know I was recording for my protection, because I'm like, this is going to come back. And actually, I had to bring a group of girls in one time and go, guys, we're going to watch a video, because I heard what was said. It ain't how it went down. I didn't steal this person's. I didn't steal this person's phone. This isn't what happened. And I have private YouTube videos that are private, so no one can see them. But it's like, guys, here's what happened. Let's play it out.
When I work with Brandon, and make no mistake, I'm working for Brandon at these things. These are his events. I might be hosting them and all of that, but they're his events, and he's nice enough to keep me going. When I work with Brandon, he occasionally, and this is fine, I understand it, he's got a management style, but and I've said it to him a couple of times, don't fucking talk to me like I'm a bikini model, okay? I'm not a 22-year-old girl that you need to use that tone with, because they only understand daddy's upset, right? No, you can talk to me like a professional, and we can handle it that way. So I do enjoy working with you, but I do also like to point that out. Like yesterday, he yelled at me for being 20 minutes late, and I'm like, fuck. I could be a dick and fight with him because he's my buddy, or I could shut my mouth and just recognize that he deals with crazy people all the time, and that I just need to be better than that.
But let's actually talk about this. I think how did I do that wrong? I said, hey man, it's 20 minutes late. That's kind of how I said it, right?
I think that
how should I have said that?
I think that on some level, considering that you were also running late.
No, I wasn't.
You said I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Be where in 5 minutes?
Where we were going. You were still driving when I told you.
No, but I was there at 5 minutes prior to 6.
Okay.
Before 6.
Here's what I would say about that. And by the way, this is all just conversation.
Yeah.
I just know. So here's what I would say about that. I would say that you should show me the professional courtesy from us working together, and me never having not shown up, and me always being there or whatever, to know that there must have been something wrong, and just shut your mouth. Don't say anything.
But here's
I was going to apologize. I was going to do a whole thing, but the first thing you said to me was, hey man, when it's 6 o'clock, you got to be here at 6 o'clock. So, and I get it, but I'm not a bikini model, and I'm not afraid of daddy, and I love you, and you're my friend, but that kind of shit, I'll just be like, fuck it, I'm going home. I love you again. Sometimes, and that's all. That's like only the second or third time. It's not like this is something you do all the time.
But what's funny, that's to the point. Done. Let's move on. It was very fast. I just want it stated.
And that is the autistic nature of you. When you are running a big event, you don't see this as an example of maybe what Adam was. That we moved on, and we had a great time last night. I had a really good time. But in the moment, I was like, and I went to the bathroom. I was like, oh, fuck him. I go, fuck you. What the fuck, man? I'm not like some chick. And you have to be this way with these girls, because they're all drunk from the night before, and they're, pretty girls are allowed to get away with shit.
Not around me, then.
Not around you. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. And also, Saturday we did this event. I was there 45 minutes early because I took it that seriously. So don't even,
But I always go by the
wrong parking lot, but I was there waiting for you.
I always go by your only as good as your last event, and that was the event we were at. So what happened in the past, I can't go to the back and I go, well, Pugs was on time last week. They don't give a shit. They care about tonight, That's why I run my business.
All right. I thought an hour would be good from the design district to Beltline and Marsh, basically.
I'm understanding of the situation. I'm just saying,
there was a crazy rainstorm in downtown Dallas yesterday, about an hour before the one that came and ripped through Addison, and that wrecked traffic on the tollway. It was It was the first time. So now I know.
Yeah. I'm understandable. I just make it real clear, by the way. That way, in the future, you'll be like, oh, crap, I don't want to.
And you do know, unlike one of your bikini girls, there will never be an event where I just won't show. Like, you know that, right?
Yeah, I know
like,
that.
I'm going to call you. If I can't make an event, you'll know days ahead of time, or I'll tell you that I can't do it. It's not going to be, I'll be there, and then like half the bikini girls just not even show up.
And my attitude in business is there's things I can't control, and there's things I can. And I always tell people, the one thing we can control is to be places early and try to and make the probability of being late lessen by let's get there a little earlier. And we can't control the outcome of the event, like attendance, things like that. But so the things that are controllable, I try to make sure that they're managed in a way that we get rid of any negativities that we can. You know what I'm saying?
Here's what I think I would say. I would say that people would be shocked at how you actually run the business when you pose that or juxtapose that against what they see of you on stage with a microphone. I think that people don't think it's possible for that person on stage to have this really deep and strategic marketing plan and strategy for your business that you do, and how serious you take it. So,
very much agreed. Yeah.
All right. Peter says, Brandon, you rock, dude.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So, got another piece of video too here from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This one's a little bit more upsetting. This one is something that needs to be called out. And I want to show it just on the off chance that some of you people might know who this person is. This came from Lakewood yesterday.
I love you said it's more upsetting. The last one didn't upset me.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, this one is more upsetting. The other one not being upsetting at all. I guess is how I should have said that. So this is a situation that occurred in Lakeview yesterday. This is an elderly Jewish woman who was just, I don't know how someone is Jewish just from sitting in their car. I think, because I read the article, but I was, half tired. I think she was pulling out of a temple or a
bumper sticker.
Maybe, yeah, maybe something like that.
Faith-based sticker.
Okay, so let's take a look at this guy. This is some dude rolling around Dallas. I know, Adam Rayna, you're a Uber driver. Maybe you could take a note of this car and be looking for him. Again, this is an elderly, old Jewish woman, and this happened to her yesterday in Lakewood.
Hi. Kite. Fucking Jew. Hi. Kite.
So, all right. It's not a long video. One more time. Let's take a look at that car. Let's see if we can't freeze it. And let's see if we can get a good look at that guy. There you go. God damn it. He looks like every dude who's half Mexican in Dallas. That's what he looks like. Every dude in Dallas who is half Mexican or looks like this guy.
What kind of car is that, by the way?
Let's go back and see.
Is it gray or black?
It looks like a Nissan, maybe. What is that? That's a Toyota. It is a Toyota. Yeah. I don't know what that is. It's a Toyota hatchback.
It's like a little bitty tiny thing. Maybe an Echo? Is that a car Echo?
Yeah, look, this was happening as the storms were rolling in. Did you just see the lightning?
That's a neighborhood. Maybe he just knows her because he lives in the neighborhood and he's aware of their culture. You know what I'm saying?
But it's yeah, okay. I think that she's probably, the bumper sticker or maybe some sort of support of Israel or
something hanging from the
I do think she's in front of a temple. I do think I read that. I don't know if but anyway, that's how he knows.
See, what an asshole, dude.
He's making the gun thing. This is an old woman. This is someone's grandma. You're fucking with someone's grandma. This dude, let me tell you honestly, what should happen to this dude?
Oh, I know what should happen.
We won an election. Not we. I didn't, not involved in it. But the results of the election suggest that certain things that used to be okay in like the 1970s are back on the table. And that is dudes in this neighborhood who know who this guy is, getting a posse together and beating the fuck out of him and leaving him in a park somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
This Pugs, that's archaic. It's called community control. And I know that it sounds crazy if you were raised in the past, 20, 30 years of, helicopter parenting and, everybody's being bubble wrapped and the world is safe. But that's not how the world worked fairly cleanly as I was growing up. And I'll tell you what the difference is. Because this was my thought when I was watching this. If Dallas had a mafia or serious organized crime presence, this would not happen in Lakewood.
Right. I'm all for the policing ourselves because the police are too busy, and I've literally had talks with the police when I was getting in trouble about this situation. So I'm like, dude, you guys are too slow to get here. We've called 911. You're not here, and this is wrong. I mean, you as a person who's a policeman took that job because you want to fix wrongs, and I'm a citizen.
If this, so like where I'm from in Chicago, all the neighborhoods have a captain, a capo, or whatever, a guy who runs the neighborhood for the godfather or the leader of the outfit, which is the Chicago Mafia. And if this were to happen, somebody would go to him. They'd go to the captain. Tony Soprano was a captain in the Soprano show. They'd go to the captain and they would say, this is happening. And he'd be like, let's fucking go get him. And then they'd round up a bunch of dudes and they'd show up on his doorstep. And this dude would know who's on his doorstep. He'd rather have the police on his doorstep because he would know what's coming. We don't really have that. I mean, and it's strange here because Texas basically invented the concept of rounding up a posse to go get people.
This is on the internet, so it's out. Whoever this is, people know who he is, and he's been addressed by now.
Let's get him.
When did this come out? When did this? Yesterday?
Let's get him and hand him over to the police, and let's hope he doesn't resist. That's how you handle this guy. All right, it's just we'll watch it one more time. There's no room for this.
You know what sucks is what we just talked about played out for me at Planet Fitness, and I'm banned from Planet Fitness for life.
Yeah, but aren't you banned for taking showers or living there or something?
No, we got in a fight, and the guys hit me with their car. They ran.
That's right.
Flew across, and I'm like, I'm banned. I was doing your job because y'all couldn't get these lunatics out of your damn place.
The reason I brought up the mafia with this whole thing is because I don't know if people understand the mafia's role in anti-fascism, the mafia's role when it comes to Nazi influences in this country. In World War II, during World War II, it was the New York organized families, Lucky Luciano, Charles Luciano, who worked with the Department of Defense to make sure that the docks in New York City would never be infiltrated by any German spies or anything. And then the whole reason the invasion of Europe, at least the first one that came up through Sicily and North Africa, that invasion of Europe took place and was successful because of the American Mafia, because the American Mafia contacted their cousins in Italy and talked to those mafia families, and those mafia families made sure that the beaches were clear for the invasion, and they made sure that the Nazis were preoccupied with other bullshit while Patton and his army were coming ashore. The mafia in America has a huge history of being against the Nazis. In Chicago, the Nazis came and marched in Skokie, and there were probably 500 Sopranos-looking dudes lining the street with baseball bats, just letting them know that the government says you can march here, but this is our place. The mafia does not like Nazis. We need the mafia in Lakewood, is what I'm saying. Or we just need some real good alpha male Texans to go handle these guys.
Lakeview earlier. It's like Lakewood, though.
It's Lakewood.
Okay, earlier you said Lakeview.
Did I call it Lakeview?
Yeah, which it hit me because I went to school at Lakeview in Garland for a minute.
Well, I would have said Lakeview because Lakeview is a neighborhood in Chicago.
Okay,
so it's
Lakewood. Okay,
and Lakewood is the
there's
neighborhood
Lakewood
here.
and there's Lake Highlands.
Yeah, and there's lake everything.
Yeah, there's
everything's
tons
got a
of them.
lake. Bunch of lakes for a state with
But
no
I'll help people.
lakes.
I'm sure they found this guy by now.
I don't know. I could probably look it up, but why? I'd rather just rant on it and pretend it's. Now we've moved on. What else do we have here? Hey, Megyn Kelly is starting her own podcast network. Megyn Kelly, she formerly of Fox News. Then Megyn Kelly went to the Today Show. She took a gigantic paycheck because she thought she could talk about donuts and baking and shit like that for the women, on NBC in the morning. And then what'd she do? She did something that was like mean, because Megyn Kelly is mean. She did something mean, and all the soccer moms in America went, we don't like her anymore. And so NBC had to eat that contract. She was kicked out, started doing some online stuff. I think she appears here and there, but she doesn't really have a home until now. Megyn Kelly is starting her own podcast network. Got to be honest, I don't really want to see Megyn Kelly on any platform other than OnlyFans, but that's just me. Any thoughts on Megyn Kelly?
Nope.
God, she's so hot.
No thoughts on her.
She is so hot. Dude, she is like 50 years old and still So hot, hotter than any Sunbrew girl. Have you seen her in a bikini? Have you seen 50-year-old Megyn Kelly in a bikini?
No.
Oh my God. So mean though. She is a mean, hot girl. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to do a podcast with girls who went to high school with Megyn Kelly. I bet you that would be good.
That would be.
All right. Gen X, a new study has revealed. You're Gen X? Yeah, of course you are. A new study has revealed that although sexual activity among all generations is in regression, do you know this? Gen Z is the least sexually active generation of young people in history.
What qualifies as a Gen Z exactly?
My kid. My kid
15 right now.
He's 15. So if you
I believe that
22 to whatever.
They're
10.
different nowadays. I think though a lot of it depends on the neighborhood you grew up in. I think your kid living in Plano, is that right? Plano?
Yep.
I think those kids, because I had a juice bar in Plano, and the kids that were so different, they'd never been in fights. Not one of them had been in a fight before. And like
My
four
kid
of them.
has.
Well, I was like, how come y'all didn't follow? Someone broke into my car and go, how come y'all didn't follow me out to help me and have my back when I chased down the guy breaking my car? He goes, huh? Like, y'all just stood there. He goes, well, I've never been in a fight. And none of them. I'm like, I'll pay off $50 to go on the back and fight and see who wins.
That's it. There you go. That's a new YouTube channel. Teenage boys who've never fought before being forced to fight. That's fun.
It's crazy. It's just, but it's not a bad thing, but it's kind of bad, sort of. But it's the neighborhood they grew up in since their upbringing.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly there are a whole bunch of different aspects to go into it, but I can tell you exactly what the difference is. Why Gen Z's sexual activities are in decline when compared to other generations.
What was it?
And why they don't fight, and why they've never been in a fight. It's because this is the first generation who has been fully raised digitally and online. They hang out with their friends in chat rooms. They don't go to each other's houses. They're not actually sitting next to the pretty girl on a bed trying to be out. They're in a chat room where it's a lot easier to be cool.
They probably have a higher masturbation rate.
Probably, maybe. I mean, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine?
They put their little eye things on and
Lord,
VR stuff.
Could you imagine being 13 today and just, it's endless. We had to strike gold by finding a Playboy in a box in a garage. That's what we had.
No, we had the scrambled TV that you would see the little, remember that you could get the view channel barely. And it was like all these, what do you call that? Snow going through the picture.
In the early days before cable, there were these boxes that you'd put on your TV and you'd have an antenna. And if there were pay channels, there were channels you would pay as a base and you'd get stupid channels. But then there were a couple of pay channels and those pay channels had nudie movies on at night. And if you didn't pay for them, you would have to play with your TV dial and just kind of get it right in between.
Just a hair glimpse.
And you would never get a full picture, but sometimes you'd get a good shot of a boob, and that was all you needed as a 12-year-old in 1982. That was it. So, I mean, all the Emmanuel movies. You remember those?
No, but it sounds funny. So loud.
Yeah. So anyway, Gen Z, sex is in decline. Millennials, sex is in decline. Boomers, obviously, sex is in decline because they're older. But Gen X is the only demographic who is not in decline. In fact, they have stayed the same sexually as far as, being. I don't know how to wrap my mind around that. Why is Generation X, which is a truly, I mean, I guess all generations are unique in their own way, but Generation X, I believe, is more unique in that we are the last generation who fully remembers and were raised in the analog world, but also are now adults in the digital world. Like, we remember life before cell phones. We remember life before home computers. You realize we are the last people who will ever live on Earth who remembers both, who lived for both. So we're a very sort of interesting generation. We were the ones who were forced at 26 to learn computers. We were like, I'm already doing this. Even at 26, we felt too old to learn.
You remember your first email?
I don't remember my first email.
It would dial up and go,
the old AOL days.
Yeah, AOL. There you go.
Oh my God.
AOL, we all started with AOL.com.
So I mean, Gen X is unique in and of itself with its worldview and its perspective. We're also the smallest generation, so we've never been as easy to sort of just paint with a wide brush. Except when we were 20. When we were 20, we were slackers. The whole term slackers, and that we were the generation that was garbage, that nobody gave a shit about, that wasn't going to amount to anything, right? Heard that? Every generation is tagged with that, but we got the name slackers. I don't know. I do not have any reason that comes off the top of my head as to why Gen X would be the only generation that is not in sexual decline.
I think we were simpler people. And that's from video games were left, right, not download, upload, and have to do all the buttons. And there's nothing simpler than basic sex, right? Insert here.
Maybe it's an age thing. Okay, so let's do this. So let's eliminate Gen Z for the reasons I stated. They're just not as in the same room ever. That's why they're in decline. Let's eliminate boomers because we know they're just getting older and that sort of thing declines anyway as you age. Now let's focus on Gen Z or Gen X, us, which are not in decline, but the millennials who are in decline. Why would the millennials be in decline? Here's my reason for this. I think I've just solved my riddle by process of elimination.
I've got to do it, but I got the net.
Millennials are in decline because millennials are at the age now where they've been married to the same woman for 10 years. They're in their 40s and sex always declines at that point. So generationally, I think that the millennials maybe in their 50s when they get single again after their divorces, it may pick back up. That is also a reason Gen X may be a little bit more up because they're suddenly free again in their 50s and they're not so old that they don't want to have sex.
The other point to this is you just nailed it, by the way. We're single again. We're back out there. And we also have the introduction of multiple ways to get ED pills and things of that nature that are very accessible. You don't need a prescription no more. And so I think that's a lot to do with it.
I think that's it. I don't think it's necessarily that Gen X is having more sex. I think Gen X has had the same amount of sex. I just think that the other generations, for well-stated reasons that I just laid out, are in decline, whereas I can't find a reason for Gen X to be in decline, only reasons why they would still be having sex. All right, there you go. We just broke it down. Look at us. We can do smart people radio. Hot mugshot girl. I want to talk about hot mugshot girl.
Oh, yes.
Do you know about hot mugshot girl?
I don't know, but keep talking. I got something. I'll pull something on Facebook. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think this was last year. She went viral. This was a sorority girl who got arrested. Oh, boy. So are you fucking kidding me? I don't have it. That's the wrong
There's something
line.
on social media that shows there's a word for it, but it's basically what you're talking about. And a friend of mine was on there the other day, and she got tagged on that post.
Oh, man. All right. I don't think we have. Oh, maybe we have the original here. All right. Anyway, a sorority girl from Georgia, right? She had viral fame about a year ago when she got arrested for being drunk in public, which is what hot sorority girls typically find themselves shackled for. And her mugshot was adorable. Like everybody was like, you got to let her go. So we'll show you the first one because she got arrested again. She's got a new one. Oh, that's the new one. Hold on. We want to see the original. There she is. There's her original. Oh, I'm not sharing it.
She's stunning, actually.
I got to share it. Hold on. All right. Original hot mugshot girl. Okay. There she is. We're sharing her right there. Look, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful
gorgeous.
girl.
How old is she?
22, I think. All right. Let's see. Is there any more pictures from the original one? Yeah. Oh, there it is. No.
My God. Looks like she's going to freaking get a headshot done.
She's horrible. Yeah, she could
She's not just adorable, but she's fixed up like she's going somewhere nice to receive an award.
She could use her mugshot as a headshot, as
Absolutely.
a professional modeling headshot. That's actually pretty good. All right. So that's the first one. That one went viral. All right. So here's the new one. You want to see the new one? She's been arrested again. Here we go. I think that was the side view of her most recent arrest. But here's the full-on front for the most recent arrest.
It's like this is her walk out the door, girl next door hot look. Like the other one, she's fixed up. Now she's just like that's probably how she looks normal every day, right there.
Let me tell you something about the difference between these two pictures. Okay, that first picture, she was just having fun. She looked great, beautiful. I get it. This mugshot here. This captured a different side. This is a crazy bitch. Look at her eyes. Now I know you can't tell that anymore because of your work with bikini models. This is a fucking crazy
I see it
bitch.
now, but it's still like from 3 feet away or 4 feet away. looks like she just probably was out about to go shopping or something. She's still good looking.
She was out drinking is what she was doing. Yeah, I know what she looks like, but all right, there you go. Hot mugshot girl.
So the thing I'm talking about is called Texas Mugshot, and it's Mugshotties. And it's spelled like my last name, Shotty, with Shawty. But a friend of mine was like on there, and that's not as nearly as good looking as that other one. Okay?
Is that your friend?
Yeah, I mean, I use the word friend loosely. She did some bikini stuff. She wasn't a sunbrew girl.
And that's her mugshot?
I guess.
I don't want to show it to the camera.
Someone posted it though, and she saw it, so she screenshotted it of herself. It's like, hey, this is when I used to be in trouble. But yeah, that's her mugshot when she got arrested, apparently. I just saw that pop up today. I was laughing about it.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't look like she looks like she was arrested while she was laying on her couch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But just looking at her, yeah, she's hot. She's a pretty girl.
Yeah,
this is a pretty
absolutely.
girl. Right. The other girl is all made up and all that. What'd she do? What'd she do to get?
I don't.
You don't know?
Probably DUIs or something. I don't know. Does it not say right there?
No.
I think she tells in her comments like, I used to be messed up. I'm clean and sober now.
Yeah,
something like that. It's something long. I used to know her pretty well. So that's. Oh, it wasn't the text. I got that from Facebook.
Oh. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Let's end on. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's end on this. Quite a controversy has broken out in the NBA world. How did the Chicago Bulls get so good? No, that's not a controversy. I'm just very excited about my Bulls these last couple of weeks. I mean, I know we should be tanking, but this might be working. Billy Donovan might have these guys play. All right, but I digress. The big story in the NBA over the last couple of days have been Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry's amazing shot from Saturday night. Seth Curry, I don't know if did you see this go viral? Fuck is going on with my back screen? God damn it. How many times do I have to go? Seriously. All right. Hold on, guys. Oh, now they're gonna make me YouTube. I swear I should just bite the bullet and pay like the $10 a month to not have to deal with these commercials.
I say you just bite the bullet and put a thumb drive in with that picture on it.
Yeah, I'm going to. I don't know that I can use that art because it's not mine. I can use it on YouTube, right? If I'm using it from YouTube, but I don't know if I can just steal it. I know you're one of these, just do it and then apologize, but
yeah, I don't think they're going to come after you. They do.
Yeah, what they do is YouTube bans your channel.
Oh, okay.
But
if it's on a thumb drive, you didn't say you got it from anywhere.
Well, but I'll be on YouTube, and if they complain that I've stolen something from their feed, and how
are they going to know if that right there is why it's on their feed or not?
AI.
Yeah. I guess they could go to your feed and see when you recorded all this, and they have that ability.
By the way, that's my answer for everything now. When I don't have an answer, I just go AI. AI will do it. Steph Curry walked off the court on Saturday, and from the tunnel, heading into the locker rooms, grabbed a basketball.
I saw this.
And threw it the length of the court, swishing, blowing everybody's minds. Here, I'm going to show you this.
He was actually did it before, and he's recreating the same shot he did before.
Is that the backstory?
That's the backstory,
I'm not entirely sure of the context, but here we go. Let's watch this. This is Steph Curry. This is from Saturday night. This shot took the sports internets. Hold on. We'll get it from the very beginning. You can see he's in the tunnel there. I mean, he's not. This is what he did. Truly remarkable. I believe that is the definition, the very definition of nothing but net. That
the story I heard was he did that years ago, and he was recreating it, and he just did it again and nailed it again, apparently. So.
All right, so that's great. That went viral. And now, why did I say when I was beginning to talk about this that this is the biggest controversy in basketball? Because there's another angle, Brandon. He missed. He did not swish it. It looked like he swished it. What he did was he hit the net. The ball came down. He went right down. So let's look at it from this angle. Here is a different angle of that shot that blew everyone's mind. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, let's. And as it says, he missed it, or with a question mark. But I think it's pretty clear he missed it. Here you go. From a different angle, Seth Curry's miracle shot.
And 3/4 of the stadium thought he hit it and they're excited as hell, and the other ones were drowned out by the cheers.
Hey, so here. It did not go in. It looked like it went in. It was an optical illusion. Seth Curry missed that miracle shot that went viral. Don't let anybody tell you different. We proved it right here. All right, man, I think that's it. I think we're done with today's show. I would like to thank our executive producer. You know him, as I say in the chat room. He's the incredibly talented and the lovely Bill in the chat room, but we know him as the King of Trivia. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. My friend Brandon hanging out. Brandon's a member of Radio Misfits Dallas, so he'll be hanging out from time to time. He has open door policy to come sit there and spew his nonsense and visit with us. We appreciate that. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you for having me.
All right. What else do I need to say? That's right. One more time. We'll pitch because this show needs to run on your tips and your gratuities. Thank you so much. It keeps it running. If you support this kind of talk radio, it's not political. It's just regular people sitting around talking every day from downtown Dallas, Texas. A little bit of a local flair to it for sure. We hope you join us again tomorrow. We do this every day at noon. Every day from the Kelly Moore Memorial Studios in the beautiful E Gallery in Dallas's Design District. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure. We're having Grego on, I think, at one day this week. No. It's right. No, it wasn't going to be Friday. Or actually, I was going to try and get him to come Friday because he's got to do Reiner's thing. So he could come here. He could do this, and then he could go out and he could record with Reiner. Anyway, I don't know. It's a pitch. And then we could ride out together. And then me and Greg could be friends. And I'm like, look at me hanging out with the hammer. Look at me. Anyway, that's the plan. Help support the show if you can. We're going to continue to have guests. I know the show is changing. It's a little different. Some days it'll be like it always was. Some days it'll be more like this. But I do appreciate your patience while we figure out what it is that we're doing here at Radio Misfits Dallas, radiomisfits.com. Like, follow, subscribe, all of that shit. And most importantly, tip the show. Thank you, folks. See you tomorrow at noon. I'm Pugs. That's Brandon. We're out of here.
Later.